The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people! And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on a massive Overreaction Monday, October 28th, 2024. This program starts now. Football is glorious, is it not? We'll be overreacting to everything that happened in the NFL world yesterday, which was a lot. Listen, what happened yesterday is going to be something that's chit-chatted about for the rest of the time. Obviously, number 1 overall draft pick taking on number 2 overall draft pick. That comes down to a Hail Mary that was more electrifying than anything we've seen all football season. But it doesn't stop there. There's some drama happening with somebody playing on defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we'll dive into that. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they get rolling on National Tight End Day. Travis Kelce scores his first touchdown of the season. They beat the Raiders. Look out. They're still the only undefeated team. And have they just started to figure out how to play offensive football? Let alone all the other storylines that are happening around. I know Jets fans aren't necessarily thrilled.
No, they're not.
I know there's a lot of that. I know Kirk Cousins is spitting bars before games start down there, leading in the NFC South. And I know there's storylines developing everywhere, like the Miami Dolphins have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they end up losing to the Arizona Cardinals, whose kicker, Chad Ryland, formerly of the New England Patriots, has now hit 3 game winners this season. Are they a team of destiny over there in the desert? Marvin Harrison gets 11 receptions for 100-some yards. Is he all the way back? Wait a second. Storylines in abundance. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Let's go to the Toxic Table story over there. Hey, boys, a couple quarterbacks out. Ty, Jordan Love has a groin injury. Is he going to be okay, pal?
I sure hope so. Obviously, they play Lions next week, so they're going to need Jordan Love back. But if they don't have Jordan Love, I'll tell you what, Malik Willis he's the guy's a football player.
Really?
I'm not so sure he's not a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. He just gets it. He knows how to play ball, and the way LaFleur kind of designs things to accentuate what he's really good at and his strengths, absolutely beautiful. And obviously Jordan Love, he's the guy, but that team kind of just rolled right when Malik got in there. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the worst thing ever. Sitting at 6-2, Jordan Love takes a week or 2 off and gets that
less hits on the body.
Maybe
less bumps on the bump card.
Maybe,
especially going into a playoff run where the Green Bay Packers fans think you guys can go get it this year, right?
I think so. I think they're arguably one of the 3 best teams in the NFC. So yeah, I'm feeling very good.
Okay, so let's go to the other side of the Toxic Table with one of the 3 worst teams in the NFL, but just got a big win. Did that affect their future by getting a dub, actually, over the Jets? Drake May leaves game with a concussion at Boston Connor. I'm not happy about that. How do we feel?
Yeah, it was a massive bummer. I still feel great. The way Drake May got hit, we talked about this. There's kind of a button on the back of your head that's right above your spine, and that's exactly where that Jets guy hit Drake.
What do you mean?
May.
He got hit with a helmet?
He got speared, basically. This guy's leading with his head. There was no penalty on the play, and that's fine because Drake May, he's not looking for handout 15 yards. He's going to earn those on his own. He stayed in the game after taking that hit, had a couple handoffs, had a couple beautiful seeds, 17-yard touchdown run. I mean, Drake May's the guy. He shouldn't play for the rest of the year. We've seen it. Everyone in this room knows, everyone at home knows Drake May.
What, because that rollout right throw, he was
gorgeous. Down the sideline to Tyquan Thornton, who might have dropped it, who might have been altered a little. It was a tough catch. Got to catch those, but it was a tough catch either way. But we don't need to see any more of Drake May. Drake May's fantastic. He is the future of the NFL. He's the future of the AFC East. I am flying high about Drake May.
So whenever you win a game against the Jets, don't you think that kind of affects your draft pick a little bit? Might not get Travis Hunter now.
Yeah. Well, in any other week, sure. But when it's New York football Jets and you are destroying an entire city, I mean, what I have seen from Jets fans over the past 24 hours, it has brought true joy to my heart. And I love Rodgers, and I'm bummed out for him. But seeing Jets fans burning jerseys, seeing Mike Greenberg crying all over the internet, I mean, that's the type of stuff that you want as a New England Patriots fan. And getting the win stinks. stinks. But the Browns, they got the win. You know, they're 2-6 now. And then you think about the Jags. We lost to the Jags, so we hold that tiebreaker. The Panthers might not win a game for the next 50 years, but, you know, Drake May wasn't the only quarterback to get hurt yesterday.
Jordan Love, we just talked about that.
Jordan Love as well, but you know, I got in here pretty early this morning because I wanted to get to work with the graphics department because there's one other quarterback that also got hurt. We have some trivia for you.
I like trivia.
Yeah. It's a who said this. I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there.
Okay.
I didn't think I was going to be able to go that next play. I just needed a break right there. Now, was it A, Phidippides?
The Greek philosopher.
Exactly. The creator of the marathon.
What's his name? Phidippides?
Phidippides.
Okay, I don't think it was Phidippides. I don't think it was Marcus Luttrell either.
I saw the movie. I assume he would have said, I'm a bit tired.
Lone survivor, American hero. I don't think this was it. I know what you're doing.
Big Mike is it's kind of heavy. A little.
Yeah.
He says that after every meal.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he has said that before.
It could be Mike.
He needs breaks all the time. Or was it D. Anthony Richardson? Now, I don't know if you guys wanted to. I thought initially this was Phidippides.
You put it together. This is your trivia, and you thought it was somebody else?
Well, no, the quote was presented to me. It kind of like a scroll from the heavens, if you will.
Who is Phidippides? He's the one who created the marathon, right?
Yeah.
He ran 26.2 miles, and I think he inevitably died from it or whatever.
Yeah, he ran from Marathon to Athens to announce
He was strapped.
Yeah, absolutely strapped. 26.2 miles, which I guess people just do now, but I think he passed away is kind of the story. That's who Phidippides is.
Yep.
Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor. I get what you're trying to do here, okay?
Yeah,
obviously bad. Mike McCarthy, I don't know why. I can only imagine why you put him in there.
His finger needs a break.
But obviously it was D. Anthony Richardson. I don't love it. Okay, it was. Okay.
Good guess.
I don't know how you didn't get it right, boys.
You're 1 for 1.
I hope you're happy.
said that?
He was a little too transparent. Okay, and it was he didn't sell it either. You know, he made an incredible play. Threw a guy off. One shook, shake, how you doing? And he even would go on after the game and say, like, I know that my completion percentage is what it is, but I'm a running quarterback, you know, and there's really nobody other than Lamar that could do what I could do. And he showcases that. And boy, it is awesome whenever he gets there. But this week, as everybody's talked about already on TV and on the internet, and my tweet was kind of broadcasted to the world. I'd never seen it before. So when a guy taps out of a game, big third down, AFC South championship basically on the line here for the lead in the division. Everything that we've been this year, massive game. It's the Houston Texans. Normally, this second game between these two teams at the end of the year, because there's a lot on the line. Guess what? There's a lot on the line right now, especially whenever you talk about playoffs and moving forward. He makes a massive play, takes a big-time shot there, but bounces up. This guy's tough. I like that. I was excited. Tough guy. Takes a shot, gets right back up, toss. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before in my life out of a quarterback, legitimately. And I know I echo the sentiments of everybody else that has tweeted or talked about it or done anything about it. An NFL quarterback doesn't tap out of a game, especially if they're able to go play. That's kind of a part of the position. You know, that is kind of a thing. You're the face of the franchise. Whenever you're tapping out, whenever you're healthy, what message are you sending to everybody in the building, everybody in the locker room, the entire city, the fan base? And I think what it does is it makes people think, like, get this guy the fuck off of our team. Yeah. You're a professional athlete, okay? You're 22 years old. This is the middle of the season. This is week 8. You're supposed to be in mid-season form. You know, that's what people talk about. This is the middle. Well, he had a hurt hip, they say. He had a hurt hip there. He's only been back for 2 weeks. It's like you can do cardio, okay, and you could do conditioning with a hurt hip and everything like that, and they have all that shit in the building. So I wonder, strength coaches, what the hell is going on over there? How is it? And then for him to give this answer immediately after the game whenever he was asked about it, certainly alarming.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just told Sam I just needed a break right there.
Did he think he was gonna get a pop early too? Because he said, "I'm not even gonna lie." Smile. Thought he was gonna get a pop from everybody. Yeah. It's a complete opposite reaction. It is not a pop at all. It's like, hey, you seemingly think that we're lucky that you're a Colt, Bob. Complete opposite. And I know he's been the most athletic person, and he's a cool dude, nice dude. Whenever he was in, he was really nice to us. But it's like everything he's ever done, I assume he's been able to just kind of waltz his way out there and have success. You'll get your ass fired, brother. And everybody, and I think I heard Rex Ryan say that this morning, everybody in Colts fan base is basically having to buy into the fact that even though we've paid everybody this year and we have a good team and could have been in the lead in the AFC South right there.
For sure.
Okay? We are forced to have a quarterback that has never played football before, really, because he was drafted number 4 overall, and he wasn't able to play last year because he got hurt. He also tapped out of a couple of those games, too, when medical results came back negative in this entire thing. But we just have to buy into the fact that the future, he's the future, he's the future. So we're going to give him time because he has to play, It's like, how long does he have to play? Jordan Love didn't have to play. Whenever he came in, he was able to sit behind somebody. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year. Why is it the fact that he has to play is the only way he's going to get better because he doesn't have a lot of reps? It's like, so we just have to throw this year into the trash, even though we have a team that Jonathan Taylor's flying around like old Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
The offensive line's moving people. Michael Pittman's making plays. Alec Pierce is making plays. Josh Downs is making plays. The defense, DeForest Buckner comes back, raising hell on it. Special teams is doing well. It's like we have a team that could go, but instead we got to watch a quarterback that's going to be our future because he was drafted number 4 overall, didn't get to play last year because he got hurt with a shoulder injury that I'm not even going to get into it, but like the whole conversation is like, you got to deal with it. And then we got Joey Flack sitting there. Joey Flack ran 20 miles an hour a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You know what his ass did off the couch in there? Just next play. Just wasn't tired, wasn't too exhausted, just continued to do it. It feels like it just showcases like a lack of awareness at all for a situation. Yeah. And he's cool. He's cool. I like that he's cool. I do appreciate that. But, man, we got a team this year. 9-year NFL vet. Host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, Darius J. Butler. I've never seen a quarterback tap out. I think it is a wild thing to happen. And you were acting like you didn't know that trivia question. He did.
I didn't know.
He did.
That's the tough one.
But everybody that has played football is reacting in the same fashion. And I don't know how AR comes back from this. Legitimately, I don't know what the bounce back is after this entire thing.
I mean, it's tough. And you said, a lot of the fan base is kind of, like surprised that he's still out there playing. A lot of the fan base still wanted to play, coming into this game at least. Like, hey, we need him to develop, need him to be the future of the team and all this other bullshit. But like, man, tapping out is one thing, and that is all-time bad. I think Rex was talking about this morning, been around the game forever. We've been around the game, watching the game forever, never seen it. But then after the game, you got the 15-minute cool-down period. Then you go stand in front of the media, and that's when you deliver your message. And then for you to say, I can't lie. I'm tired. Like, that's the time, hey, lie. Yeah. I know we talk about transparency and shit, but lie. But the bigger issue is not being in shape, not being that guy. You are the head. You're the head of the team. That's a huge third and goal in a pivotal game. You cannot do it. There's 52 other guys out there battling their ass off. You mentioned JT being out there, the defense being out there. He was getting beat up. He was getting pressured all day, but you got to find a way. You got to gut it out, make a big throw, make a big play. You're 22 years old. We expect you to be playing this league for 10, 15 years, but you talk about developing and all this other shit, like potential will get you fired. Potential will get coaches fired, GMs, other players will be looking for new teams because you're not winning, not living up to your standards. So that's all time bad, man. Not only tapping out, but then not having the awareness to know, like, hey, this shit ain't okay for you to say, hey, man, just need to take a breather. We seen Lamar Jackson, I think the first game of the season when they opened up against the Chiefs, he probably ran that for like 20 times.
He did.
Never see him tapping out. Never see him tapping out. He's throwing the ball. He is most of their offense for them to be doing that. So, that's all-time bad for AR. And hopefully he learns from this. But week to week, going forward, everybody's fighting. It's tough to win this league. You want the best option out there. I said it a few weeks ago. A bunch of people jumped on my ass about saying, hey, I think you go out there Flacco. He gives you the best chance now. Week in and week out to win. You go with Flacco and you let AR learn, maybe from the sideline, how to be a quarterback of a team. Hopefully he does, but man, this is the NFL, man, not for long. We all know that.
Yeah, but I don't think he knows that. Like,
he better figure it out.
I don't think he has anybody telling him, like, hey, like, there's only 32 of those jobs right there. Like, you are lucky to have one of those and to be forced in because of the situation that happened before you got to this program. And I know Chris Ballard, and I assume Jim Irsay, and Shane Steichen, and everybody's aligned. And I was even on board last week, I was even on board or 2 weeks ago whenever he comes back in. It's like, all right, this is good for the future. We can win games still. We beat the Dolphins. Ugly. Not great offensively, efficiently, especially after what you watched Joe Flacco do the week before, where it's just like,
That's the other part.
Because he knows everything.
10 for 32?
There was drops, though. I don't want to get into making excuses for Anthony Richardson like I've been doing for like the last couple of years. There were some drops, obviously. There were some situations that could have won another direction where somebody could have helped him out, maybe make a play for him. Yeah. So his completion percentage is certainly, they're saying like...
like the worst ever.
I actually have a graphic for that.
Another one?
Yeah. But like I said, we kind of went to work this morning. I don't know if you want to see the next graphic, but AR is a cool guy. However, Anthony Richardson ranks 222nd in completion rate, 50%, among the 225 QBs with 250 plus dropbacks since the year 2000. So when you're just talking about,
You really went to work, huh?
yeah, well, I mean,
Grinded.
Yeah, what are you? AR is a cool guy.
tap out?
He is a cool guy.
Normally, the title of the graphic is supposed to be something. You just want to make sure people knew that.
yes, well, and that's it. I think that's what makes this the most frustrating.
It's because he would be.
The flashes that you see are like, holy shit, this guy's unbelievable. Like that last touchdown he had, the
down.
touchdown to the front corner
Touch.
of the end zone. That was unbelievable. And then we talk about like last year early on when he's running in touchdowns and doing 360 spikes. It's like he has the ability, and you mentioned like forever he's probably walked down the field and been the best player and the best athlete, and that has got him to where he is. But like now, you guys talk about it all the time, like now it's the best of the best. Now it's 20 plus years of dudes who are in the NFL who have always been that guy on the field. So like it not coming together, especially now after going through the whole potential year last year and the start of the season and having it be a very pivotal game, like it is brutal to watch just as a football fan, not even like an Indianapolis Colts fan.
This isn't an overreaction either.
No.
This is not good for the NFL as well. Like,
Yes,
the
at
quarterback position. Okay, these dudes are making $60 million a year. Okay, for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You are the face of the franchise. You are everything that the franchise is supposed to embody. People say, the team takes on the personality of its coach. I agree. But if the quarterback isn't on board, none of that happens. The quarterback is in a position of leadership because they touch the ball every single play. They're going to get paid the most. They are the ones who the team goes if they go. So you being the one that everybody's looking at, I don't think he understands that either. I don't think he has a basic understanding of like how fragile your job can be in the NFL, how they can end immediately. Mm-hmm. And also like what you signed up to be whenever you decided to be an NFL quarterback. And he said, well, I didn't decide it. They drafted me to do it. It's like, well, you've been put into a position that millions of people would die to be in. And the quarterbacks that are great, and you can watch all these documentaries, they're all, think about Kirk Cousins, okay, in that quarterback's documentary. Gets hit, throws ball, right?
Yeah.
Immediately gets up, runs down the field, does it again.
Throws a touchdown.
Matthew Stafford, throws a touchdown. Matthew Stafford, like, broken neck, I think, broken shoulder.
Everything.
Like, running down the field in there. Peyton Manning never missed a snap, just never missed a snap. Patrick Mahomes, he's pissed that they're pulling him for his ankle.
Yeah.
Runs on his ankle. It's like the quarterback has to have a dog in them, while also remaining relatable, being incredibly savvy on the football field, being explosive, but also setting a standard for the rest of the team like, hey, we fucking play here. We don't tap out. Like, adversity is going to happen. And then if you're out of shape in week 8, listen, I was a punter, okay? I was a punter. There were some years I was fat. Got a little loose out there. Thought life was like when I was in my early 20s. It was not. Metabolism, the metabolic rate kind of slowed down, and I was living. Not going to break or not going to change what hasn't been broken, This has gotten me here. I'm going to continue to eat Pizza Hut.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
I'm going to continue to, have 10 beers or whatever after a game. Like, I'm going to sleep terribly and poorly. So I inevitably, but I'm the punter, okay? I'm taking 3 steps. And nobody was expecting me to go ahead and act in a manner that everybody else can follow. So I put that tweet out yesterday just because I said, it's influential. That's because that radiates to the rest of the locker room. That sets the entire culture. Hey, this is what this team is. You get tired, guys, just tap out. Just go ahead and tap out. Wide receivers can do it. Running backs can do it. I've seen some DBs tap out in the past. They very rarely. Offensive linemen never.
No.
Right? Quarterbacks never. But why not Anthony Richardson? Why not just change the game?
Can't have it.
Why not be a tap-out guy? Why not be tap-out Anthony Richardson? It's like the thought that even crossed his mind is my biggest issue. And I think what happened was the week prior against Miami Dolphins, he had a long run, ran somebody over.
Yep.
We're standing 20 yards away from where our suite is. He gets up. He does a first down circle from his knees. Okay, then he gets up, and he is visibly exhausted. It is very obvious. Spitting, the whole thing, very tired. Next play, fumble.
Yep.
fumble which he did again this past weekend. They got to figure that out. I don't know how you fix the men gel point or whatever. They got to figure that out. So I think there was probably a conversation between him and somebody that's like, hey, if you're too tired to do your job, just tell somebody. And it's like the fact that they even have to tell him that. And that's not from inside sources. That's just from me watching. I think being the only person in the stadium saying he is dead tired. That guy is very, very tired.
You said it right away.
Yeah, because I've been there. I've been to that spit. When that thing is, when that's a thick spit and you're obviously exhausted, it's like, oh, I've been that. I'm not in good. Punter, once again, chose to punt so I didn't have to run. Like, that's literally what I did. So then when the fumble happens, I feel like there's probably a conversation with somebody. It was like, hey, if you're too exhausted, you think something's going to go bad, get off the field. But like week 8 of the NFL season, that cannot be. You're a professional athlete, dude. Somebody needs to tell you. Somebody needs to tell you that you're a professional athlete and you're getting paid to do this. Could you imagine, like, any of these actual jobs in the world? Military folks, cops, ambulance, firefighters, teachers, whatever the case. And I know they get off days or whatever. But like, whenever 3rd and long, division opponent, like let's count that as massive moment in profession. Massive moment in profession, in career. Could you imagine the leader of the group just being like, actually, I'm not ready for it. I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to go take a break and walk out. No, you couldn't. And they're not making millions of dollars. It's like just every part of it is bad. Every single part of it is bad. And it's a bummer. And I didn't like that we just spent that much time. It's all because you're trivia. I hope you're happy, buddy. I hope you're happy.
I mean, you said it. It's like it's the maturity thing, and whether it's fair or not, like that's the position you get put into. Like he's the starting quarterback of an NFL team, and it's not college anymore. Like you're relying, like guys are relying on you for their livelihoods. It's not just like, hey, we're gonna go out there and have fun. Like you mentioned it, like he's the CEO of a $1 billion franchise. Whether he wants that or not, he is. And to your point about like the teachers and all these other people who have difficult jobs, like if you're in that position and you're running a $1 billion company and you're shitty at your job, like guess what? It's not just going to be like, oh, well, we're just going to keep him around. He needs to learn. He'll eventually get there. It's like, no, guess what? Like this is the way it goes. I mean, you talk about Luck, who was kind of like the other side of that. Like
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, exactly. Who like was too respectful and like almost didn't want to push buttons. But like I think he was a leader. Like again, stuff like this, like that shit just doesn't happen in the NFL. You can't say that. Like you can't say that. It's not intramural flag football in college. Like you're playing in the NFL. You just and not having the wherewithal to know you can't say that after the game. Like that's the more troubling part.
Do you have any more graphics on it, pal?
Yeah, we do. Do you want them now, or do you want to wait? Or?
I don't believe you.
Yeah. There's another one. There's another one back there. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, geez.
Tap out Richardson. First QB to ask for a break in the fourth quarter due to being tired.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean to be fair,
you kind of soup up your stats.
Well, no, I kind of let the graphics department, take their creative liberties, and it seems one of them decided to put the fourth quarter. It wasn't the fourth quarter, but he is the first.
Which is even worse. It was earlier in the game, and he was tired. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just got in here.
No, please. Earlier in the game, I forgot. I didn't even think about that. It is worse.
Every part of it's bad. Literally every part of it's bad. If it was fourth quarter, he had 150 yards rushing. It's like, all right.
Fine.
No. You can see you're a little exhausted.
No, still not good.
Took a few licks.
I would make excuses for him right here. I would if I beg your guy's quarterback couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. And then somebody say, well, Lamar did. Well, Lamar's a different animal. He's obviously, that's the whole song and dance that I would have done. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's earlier in the game. It's even worse. I get it. He's not completing passes. But he said this after the game about not completing passes. He actually talked about what type of quarterback he is.
I feel like I'm a great passer. I've been playing quarterback pretty much my whole life. I'm just a different quarterback from everybody else, so people going to try to point out that I'm not as efficient as everybody else, but it's cool to me. I run the ball way better than every other quarterback. Probably not Lamar, but than most quarterbacks. So I take advantage of my opportunities. I just use my powers to the best of my ability, and when I am delivering the ball, I feel good about it. When I'm running it, I feel good about it as well.
You are a phenomenal running quarterback, brother. That is why you can't change your style of play, and the Colts have to call the game in a manner of this. You're going to run, and you're going to get hit, and you're going to get tackled. But if you're going to run, then, you see, there is a chance you're going to have to be in shape to run. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is it's the NFL. It's the highest level.
Yeah.
This is the highest level.
Pinnacle.
That was for the AFC South lead yesterday. That was a massive game.
Yeah. Top of a division.
That was a massive game in an AFC that, hey, listen, there's a chance here. Now, obviously, the Chiefs are still undefeated.
Sure.
Congrats to Travis Kelce getting on board. National Tight End Day.
Congrats. They showed up.
Yes, they did.
They showed
tight
up.
ends showed up in a massive way. Now, obviously, Jage and others are sick of hearing about National Tight End Day. Jage put out a tweet about it. How many times I got to hear about this? We'll ask him about that on Wednesday. But on National Tight Ends Days, the tight ends normally show up, but never have showed up as big as they did this year. 16 tight ends. They were dancing all over the yard. 177 catches. Holy hell.
Whoa.
Detroit Lions, head coach tight end. He even got in on the action.
Yep.
Made sure 2 tight ends score, and then also we're going to do special teams, man, and we're going to take over the entire game. They dominated. Absolutely dominated. And Jared Goff didn't even throw for 100 yards.
Nope.
Wild times in the NFL. Joining us right now to hopefully give us a little bit more information is senior NFL insider at ESPN, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. Shefty, you know better than me. To put a bow on the conversation that we just had that was started by a trivia question by Boston Connor, have you talked to anybody around the NFL about quarterbacks potentially tapping out in middle games whenever they're completely healthy, just tired? Have you talked about that?
Came up in some conversations this morning. Nobody that I spoke to can recall that ever happening before. And, here's the thing that's amazing about
Why
you
is
guys.
that gotta be the case? Why is it gotta be the case?
It's got to be us.
Well, here's the amazing thing about that is that you could tap out and you could say when it comes up, I don't know, my stomach, I had a cramp. Yeah. I needed to, something to talk about the coat. I felt something in my knee, my shoulder, whatever. Like, for you to say you're tired.
Yeah. It's not good.
That you can't say that. You can't say that. Pat, that's your quarterback. Pat.
That's
your quarterback.
That's the future of the franchise. That's the future of the franchise. And I think he's going to learn from this. I was very negative there for the first 20 minutes on this, but as you lay it out, he's going to be our quarterback. And I think he can learn from this, and maybe he'll just start lying more.
Yeah.
Lie to me.
So CEOs do.
I need you to lie to me. I need at least a little.
Exactly.
I felt my hammy was locking up a little bit when I got this sideline. It worked it out. I was good.
I had a cramp.
Very thankful.
Turf pellets in my eye.
Yeah. Yep.
But I will say, to be clear.
You know what? My contact lens, I don't even wear but my contact lens was bothering me.
And if he needs to do that, he needs to sell it a little bit more on the field, too, because as he walked off the field, it was very obvious he was healthy. And then he got to the sideline. Like, I put that tweet out 10 seconds after it happened. That wasn't after it was confirmed that he was just out of breath. Team officials told Mike Chappell, a man who has the media room now named after him in Indianapolis, team officials said he was out of breath. It's like, okay, that was middle of game report. That's what I thought. Then he sit on a sideline next to Joe Flacco. Then he comes back in, scores a touchdown, leads him on a touchdown drive. It's like, oh my God, this is what life is going to be. He'll learn from it. Let's go, AR. Let's go, AR. Let's stay in that game. Stephon Diggs had a knee. He ends up leaving. How serious is that, and what does that mean for the Houston Texans, who are in control of the AFC South and fresh out of a Green Bay Packers ass-beating to their offense, get a massive win over the Colts? Let's assume that they're going to go ahead and write some things. What's Stephon Diggs' injury update looking like, Shefty?
Well, I think, number one, everybody is hoping for the best with Stephon Diggs, but I think that there are some troubling signs here. The fact that it was a non-contact injury. The fact that people have been non-responsive in terms of questions about his status. Usually, like, when you're reaching out to people and you're saying, what's going on with him? Oh, he's okay. He's fine. We talked about this. He's fine. Nobody said to me he's fine yet. I'm just saying. So we're waiting. D'Amico Ryans is scheduled to speak to the media at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. He may update it. Then I'm sure we'll hear something at that time, if not before. But again, I think everybody hopes Stephon Diggs is okay. But I think there's some questions about his knee.
Non-contact injury taken out of game. He was also rolling, too. Had 5 receptions, 81 yards going in there. Was seemingly open. Him and C.J. Stroud had a moment, too, where C.J. chased him down the field, and they have a celebration together. It's like, wait a second. Is this about to become the thing? Non-contact injury. We're pulling for you, Stephon. Pulling for you. Godspeed. They don't play the Colts again, obviously. That was the second time they played in the season. Houston sweeps the Indianapolis Colts as the Texans continue to do what they do. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers quarterback situation. Jordan Love has a groin injury is how they called it, but he was walking around after the game. That told me they weren't that scared. Where is the Jordan Love injury, and what should we be projecting on that?
Well, I think the key thing to remember here also would be obviously a huge game against the Detroit Lions this week. And the week after, the Green Bay Packers go on their bye. So if he can't make it back from his groin injury this week, then he would have 2 weeks to get well. and get ready for the second half of the season. But he went down yesterday against the Jaguars, stayed down. Initially, Matt LaFleur said he was very worried about it. It seems like it might not be that severe, undergoing more testing. They'll monitor him throughout the week, and that'll be one of the quarterback questions this week, I'm sure, whether or not Jordan Love can go on Sunday in a huge divisional matchup against the Detroit Lions. Every week there's always a couple of these quarterback questions, and it looks like Jordan Love is going to be one of those this week.
What do you know about the New York Jets? Boy, it is that was a Patriots fan that just laughed into the microphone. Obviously, they are incredibly pumped to be the team that has caused the Jets fans to do this. Yeah. Mathematically, not eliminated, but boy, it sure sounds like Jets fans are taking this one tough. What are you hearing from the building or from people around the New York Jets? Obviously, they play Thursday night. Not even sure if we're going to be talking to Aaron tomorrow because of the short week in the game on Thursday. So what are you hearing from the Jets? And is Greeny okay? Is Greeny okay?
No. Well, you know what? Honestly, I think with a lot of the Jet fans, friends, let's see what that. Yeah, I think honestly most of them have kind of resigned themselves and accepted what this team has been this year, and I don't believe that they have high hopes. Like their hopes have already been dashed because when the season started, you have the owner saying it's the best team that they've had in 25 years. You got a lot of people all excited about Aaron coming back. You've got legitimate playoff hopes. You can make the argument that there hasn't been a time in the last couple of decades where there have been higher hopes for a Jets team than the one this season. And you also can make the argument that with the Patriots having Tom Brady, there may not have been a season in which the Patriots ever had lower hopes this season. And after 8 weeks, the Patriots are coming off beating the Jets, and they both have 2-6 records. So it's a tough spot to be a Jets fan right now. And it just feels like whatever they have done hasn't worked. Like everything that they've tried, they keep pulling these levers, and there are no more levers to pull, and they're 2-6, getting ready for a Thursday night game. And the schedule's favorable. We keep talking about this,
no,
right?
It's not. Like every week is an NFL game. People forget that.
Yeah. Well, yes, but at some point you can have all the favorable games you want. You have to win games to have those favorable matchups. Like they're not winning, so it doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, and when Deshaun was playing for the Browns, I think you would put the Browns in there, but Jameis comes in, they win.
Yeah, exactly.
They beat the Baltimore Ravens. I guess the Carolina Panthers are the only one you say, like, not really. Like, that's a favorable schedule.
Yeah.
Like the
Titans, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Titans had a tough one. Yeah. Titans had Mason Rudolph, though. Rudolph was going crazy. But whenever people say favorable, it's like, what, to last year's record or to the reality of the situation? Who are the teams? We would like to let Jets fans know that we're sorry, man. Yeah, really. Well, Connor's not because he's a Patriots fan, but I am sorry that your year's going. Like, you should have some optimism at some point. You know, like Michael Cole, poor Michael Cole.
Boy.
Michael Cole, this was it. Mets, obviously, were going to go on a run. They don't. Jets were going to be great. Hangover optimism from last year.
Yeah.
Hangover optimism. So it was a buildup. You know when you wake up a little hungover, you got some magic beers. Just a couple kind of put you right back in there. That was their happiness from last year.
Yep.
They're hungover. All they needed was just a couple sound bites, a couple clips from training camp, and they're like, boom! We are back in the magic time of this. And then for it to go the way that it's going, we don't like that. It's not good for football whenever fan bases just can't be optimistic about anything. And that's seemingly what Jets fans are experiencing.
Well, and they went through the beginning, and it was down, and then they get Devontae, and it's back up. And then 2 weeks into the
Those magic beers came back real quick.
Yeah.
Devontae, remember, popped his head in our show.
Yep.
And it was like, yep.
Oh, my God.
They're going to be so good.
Yeah. It was like a magic shot or two.
Right back. They did a shot ski, actually.
Yeah.
They did a full shot ski. Bang! Devontae's back. And then it's tough. That's tough, Shefty. I don't like it. I don't like it for my Jets friends that I have.
You know what it reminds me of, Pat? We have 5 dogs. I got 3 sick dogs, like 3 older sick dogs that were taken care of. And sometimes we get this vet to come to the house. And the vet gives the dogs a shot of Lubrella. It's called Lubrella, and it's like a little steroid or something, whatever it is. I don't even know. It's like, and the dogs for a couple of days they're bouncing. So the Jets have basically been the dog version of Lubrella, right? They fire their coach. There's your Lubrella. They change the offensive coordinator. A little Lubrella. They trade for Devontae. A little Lubrella. Hassan Reddick shot. A little Lubrella. But Lubrella has worn off on the Jets season right now, and they are where they are, and they're 2-6.
Yeah, whenever you build up that tolerance for Lubrella. You know, it just doesn't hit the same way it used to.
No, it doesn't.
I never thought we'd be talking about Lubrella on the McAfee Show today, but here we are. That's what we're talking about.
I
right?
also dog dad, also to older dog in Valerie. I think that's a shot that makes them forget they have arthritis. Is that what that one is?
Yep. It helps. It's supposed to help. Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know. For in the short term, I would
like
imagine, but then afterward, yeah, exactly like Tordal.
Yeah, and
Tuesday
plus-
morning you wake up, oh shit.
Jets fans
Still
are,
there.
Yeah, my
Arthritis is still there. Yeah, I think
Jets
that,
fans are drinking bleach. They're not drinking Lubrella.
okay. All right. Jeez Louise. Let's talk about a big-time win last night for a team. The San Francisco 49ers. Ty Schmidt has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, just curious, are the Niners still on track to get CMC back pretty soon here? Obviously, yeah, big win last night, but still looking at him, they just don't look the same without him. Have there been any hiccups with him coming back, or are they expecting to get him back as healthy as he has been, for quite some time?
Here, as of right now, might be the first positive Christian McCaffrey injury update of the entire season. Yep, here we go. Ready? So far, he has not had any setbacks during his recovery. I don't want to jinx this, right? Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx this, but he has not had any setbacks. And he has looked strong. And right now, yeah, he's poised. He's poised to get back, I think, after their bye and play against the Buccaneers.
Wow.
Christian McCaffrey back against the Bucks.
Here we go.
Because they showed him on the side.
Now, again, hold on. We thought he was going to play in the opener.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, that Friday before, setback. But I think we could say it this way. Right now, he is tracking to play against the Buccaneers.
Okay, I'm not gonna blame you because you drafted Christian McCaffrey in your fantasy, so you didn't know that this was going to happen. But as soon as we hear the word Achilles in the announcement of what's wrong with Christian McCaffrey, like 4 days before opening Sunday, that's when all antennas go up. Whenever they showed him last night sitting on the sideline, I think he was hiding behind somebody, so they showed him for a little bit. I completely forgot about the Christian McCaffrey situation because the running back that they have, both of them, Dorenda and Mason or whatever, like had gone so well. If you think about adding Christian McCaffrey, who's obviously one of one in this entire thing, their run game explosive. They got back on track last night. Debo doing special things. Brock Purdy doing his thing. Trent Williams was highlighted a lot, as he should be. And then on defensive side, they almost give that up to the Cowboys late.
Close.
Not a lot of people stayed up for that. I don't think I actually stayed up for it. This is one of the first times I stayed up for a primetime game.
Shout out.
It felt pretty good. I took a nap in the afternoon. 4:30 games. Kind of took a nap.
They were good ones to do it for.
Yeah, it kind of offset my night a little bit. So I was up for it. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm happy I stayed up for this. Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb just started being wide open.
Yeah.
He started being wide open. There was blown and missed assignments by the San Francisco 49ers defense. And it's like, wait a second, are the Cowboys about to come back and win this? I couldn't even fathom what we'd be saying about the Niners today if they gave that up. Instead, they get the win, and now Christian McCaffrey tracking for the Buccaneers game. It's up and up for Shanahan.
That's huge.
Shanahan at halftime, too, giving a speech about us having to be more physical, clearly, is what he said, I think, personally, with how they looked in the first half to how they came out in the third quarter. It was like he said, are we going to, Dallas Cowboys, we're going to let them? And then they came out and just pounded them. It's like, I love this Niners team. Always will. I like them more with Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk about teams making plays now. A mustache-toned Diggs, one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, we are about a week out from the What?
You look so sweet.
It's Halloween, baby.
Hell yeah.
So
It's Halloween.
You're damn right.
We're about a week out from the NFL trade deadline. It's already been a pretty busy NFL trade season, I feel like. Who are some names or teams that we should potentially be on the lookout in this last week?
Well, I think your Steelers would love to add a wide receiver, Tone. I think that's certainly in play. But the problem is that like every wide receiver that they keep looking at, they wind up getting hurt. Like Christian Kirk, I think would have been a guy that might have been on the Steelers' radar, and he breaks his collarbone yesterday, so he no longer is a target. And they can't bring Deontay Johnson back there. Deontay Johnson, in my mind, is going to be traded by next week. I don't know whether it'll be this week or next week, but I expect that Carolina and Deontay Johnson will part ways and each side will go its own way. And the question is where he winds up. And I think he gets traded. I think you saw yesterday New England had Josh Uche out. They didn't play him, and I think that he'll get traded here in the next 8 or so days at some point in time. We keep waiting for Cleveland to trade Zadarius Smith. It's another guy that I think would be on the lookout here to be traded. And those are some obvious names as we speak. There will be others. We've already seen a busy, active trade deadline period with all the wide receiver movement and Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins. More will be coming. Deontay, I think, will get moved at some point in time here. So those are some names that you're watching here
Shefty,
as the deadline
Is
approaches.
Cooper Kupp definitely off the table now?
Right now, we got the Arizona Cardinals in first place in the NFC West, and I think the Rams are one game back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, the Cooper Kupp stuff, all the conversations about it, I think the Rams were being a smart, intelligent, forward-thinking organization pondering two different worlds. What if we don't win here before the trade deadline and the season gets further away from us? Would we consider trading Cooper Kupp? Well, in that scenario, of course, we'd have to look at it if we got the offer that we wanted. But they won, and now they're a game out. And so you heard Sean McVay after the game say, no, we have Cooper Kupp, and we're not moving off Cooper Kupp. And that's what I expect. You're one game back. You're a different offense when Kupp and Nakua are out there the way they were Thursday night against the Vikings. And, unless some team steps up and gives them something that I can't envision, Cooper Kupp is staying in L.A. and will be there past the trade deadline.
2 wins in 5 days, moving up in the NFC West.
Right.
Getting Puka back and seeing what the offense can look like with all of your weapons all of a sudden, and then being like, wait, whoa. Hold the phone. I like it. Be able to adjust. Now, the thought that Cooper Kupp was going to go to another team was certainly glorious for some teams.
Sure.
There were some teams that were very excited for that fan base-wise. I think the Rams fans all of a sudden got re-energized, too, after what they saw on Thursday night. I like the season, 1 week out from trade deadline day.
That's right.
November 5th.
Yeah. 8 days.
Right here.
Trade deadline day. Trade
Quiet
early.
day.
Get out there and trade.
Quiet day. Not a lot going on that day.
Nope, trade early. If you're going to trade early. Make sure you get out there in front of the long lines during those trade deadlines.
That's right.
Change.
There's going to be a lot of busy phones on those trade deadline days. And then trade deadline night should be just real calm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what.
Hayes kind of in the barn at that point.
Yeah, trades are already happening.
New teams forming.
Yeah, what time's trade deadline? At 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
I remember last year, this was very funny, last year. So there were a whole bunch of trades. I have to go back and get the list of trades that took place because the last few years, it's kind of been like a little bit of something that has caught on where teams are making more and more deals, younger GMs, more aggressive thinking, teams
Fancy
seeing that it
football
works,
GMs.
wheeling and dealing. And so there were a bunch of trades last year like Chase Young and Montez Sweat and a whole bunch of guys being traded last year at the deadline. I remember getting home that night and being like, "Whew, I'm tired." I remember going to bed at about 10:30 that night and getting a text at 11:45 that the Raiders were firing Josh McDaniels. I'm like, okay, here we go. So we got up from the trade deadline and saw the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels that night, very late at night. Halloween night it was last year, if I remember correctly, how these things kind of work out. And they fired Josh McDaniels and hired Antonio Pierce. And that was the end of the trade deadline day last year. This year we get the trade deadline. And then we get to find out who's going to be president of the United States.
Oh, yeah, same day.
Same
day.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Trade deadline
get out
day
vote.
is election day. Josh McDaniels gets fired at 8:45 on trade deadline day this year. Nobody knows or cares.
No.
Nobody knows or cares. So just
It's a blip.
missed it by a year. Speaking of trade deadline day, there's some people saying like, get this guy the hell off of my team and never have him on any other team. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, is Tyreek Stevenson the Bears DB who's just basically telling everybody in Washington to go to hell and get out of the stadium, getting cut today after the Hail Mary debacle where it went off his hand and into Noah Brown's hands so the Commanders could win?
I haven't heard that they're releasing him today, but I will say this, that there are some things that you watch that defy all logic, and that was one of them. Like, every part of that play, the more I think about it, I mean, he's taunting the fans. The receivers are 30, 40 yards downfield. He's late to get back into the play. The angle he takes because he was taunting the fans, I'm not a physicist, but it results somehow in him tipping the pass, going right to that guy, Noah Brown, as opposed to him being back in the end zone, standing back there having a different angle, not taking a running start to make up for lost time.
40 yards on the field.
You can't even make this up. Yesterday morning, I'm standing in the research area as we're doing Sunday Countdown with our two ace researchers, Evan Kaplan and Jacob Nierob, and they were replaying the Jim Marshall play on Sunday Countdown.
Of course. And
I said to Evan and Jacob at that time, can you imagine if Jim Marshall did that in this day and age?
Oh, Jim.
This play right here, that's not running the wrong way, but it's the 2024 version of I'm going to show you fans, people capturing it on social media, him running across the field, actually being the guy who deflects the pass. They could have been, if they won the game, 5-2. They're now 4-3, like one game. And look, there's a lot of things that lead up to it. It's not one play. I got it. But in this particular case, in this particular case, that play is going to follow him for the rest of his career. Now, he may make a game-winning pick six. He may help the Bears win a Super Bowl one day. He may do some great things, but there are certain things that just stick to you over time. That's a sticker right there.
That's a sticker. I would certainly say that is the case. The video has gone bananas from Joe Abdo on the internet everywhere, and everybody has the same reaction going like, if you were to write a movie about an asshole who is a football player, this would be the opening scene. Yep. Say, let us show you how big of an asshole this guy is. Okay, that is literally how they would script it to be part, and for him to be the guy that touches it. It's like this is out of a movie. I think we all reacted the same way whenever we saw the video for the first time. We said, no, that can't be real. It's got to be out of a movie. Are they filming?
And by the way, like
Dark Knight
I'm sure there would have been. It would have maybe come out eventually on the old 30 look. Somebody would have detected it, but Joe Abdo, photojournalist in the stands at Washington in 2024, gets a shot of Tyreek Stevenson, who was more interested in engaging and taunting the fans than he was in the receivers running down the field. But, wait, here they come. Hold on, let me get
supposed to come his way, too. Look, Jaden's rolling to his side. That was supposed to go on his head. Yeah. Instead, he's going to celebrate, talk shit, turn around, sprint across field, do one jumpy thingy. Let me go ahead and bat this straight up in the air, too. His hand is up like this, like he's a server. So it's not like bat it down. He's like, actually... Let me go ahead and bop this thing like he's Super Mario hitting one of those boxes.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable how everything could go wrong for this guy in one particular play, and then this is going to be one of the most memorable plays of the season of the day, depending the number 1 overall pick versus number 2 overall pick. The first time Jaden and Caleb played, this is going to be showed 20 years from now. I mean, this is going to be showed forever, Schefter.
Again, like I said to you, the Bears' record 5-2, 4-3. Commanders go to 6-2 as opposed to being at that point in time 5-3. The Commanders are now atop the NFC. I'm going to tell you this right now. I happened to be in Ann Arbor. The Broncos, when I was covering Denver, were playing a Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills. I think it was 1992 or 3, and 93 is my guess. And I flew from Denver and I stopped in Ann Arbor because that Saturday, I convinced my employer at the time, the Rocky Mountain News, to let me cover the Michigan-Colorado football game. And so I happened to be on the field when Cordell Stewart dropped back and launched a pass of similar length to Michael Westbrook. And to this day, I can tell you who was on Michael Westbrook. It was somebody who's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Ty Law. Ty Law was on it. But you know what? Ty Law wasn't running around with the fans and talking at the fans or taunting the Colorado men. And we still remember Ty Law. Tyreek Stevenson was away from the action. He's getting into it with the fans. He's waving he's having a great time. He's having a great time.
He goes, where are you now? Where are you now?
And then he actually tips the ball.
Yeah.
He tips the ball.
Yeah, Shefty, it's crazy. The throwaway, the hand motion, whenever he turns around and realizes that a couple of these wide receivers are 40 yards down the field. It's not like this play just started.
No.
It's like play very much happening. And I think this is the first time that a 10-plus second before being thrown pass has been completed for a touchdown since like 2006 or so. I forget the exact stat, but like obviously extends play long time, 10 seconds, cuts back. People are saying there was a holding happening. You're never going to get a hold on a Hail Mary, especially if you're only rushing like 3 or 4, don't have enough numbers for the offensive line. And then for Jaden Daniels to throw that thing, how far he threw it.
Great throw.
He ran for a while, too. I'm surprised he wasn't tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
He had all the time in the world. He had all the time in the world to set up, to throw it as far as he could throw it. You could watch the play over and over and over and see a different thing every time and not get tired of seeing it. And we will continue to see that play over time because it's one of those great plays that people will talk about. And Tyreek Stevenson, for better or worse, through his own actions, will always be associated to that play.
Yeah,
he just will.
Think about how cool it would have been for him if they wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah.
Because he's doing this, right? Nobody's making any noise. Oh, forget all you.
That's
Turns
a
around, ball hits the ground, just like I fucking said.
I didn't even need to do anything.
Just like I said.
Boy.
I don't know Eberflus well. I don't know him that well. Good hair.
Cool hair.
Has been on the program a couple
He's a
times.
good man.
He was
He's a
here in
good man.
Indianapolis. They say he's like a big accountability guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's his big thing.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that that's happening on the Hail Mary is also like a whole nother question about what's going on up there. They'll figure it out.
It's going to be rough. He's going to have a rough film session today for sure. But even on Flus, because the play before that with the out route to give Jaden Daniels the ability to even make that throw, that's one. And then whoever's supposed to be there is different. Sometimes it's a man situation, sometimes it's zone. This looks like some type of zone. See, but right there to give him that, 13-yard play to get him in a Hail Mary situation with no timeouts, definitely got to talk to Flus about that one. But then with Tyreek Stevenson, like it's only certain DBs that are supposed to actually go up and high point the ball. Everybody else is almost like a ball you man situation, like boxing out in basketball. You can see Edmonds, I think.
Ball you man.
So you try to get in between, obviously, your man and the ball. And then there's always a back tip guy for the offense who right where Noah Brown was. And if you're that DB, you should be back there boxing him out, getting that ball up. So, I mean, just an all-around brain fart for everybody. But Tyreek Stevenson, obviously, the bullseye is going to be on him for everybody in the stands. Everybody that saw this clip, he already had to come out and apologize. But this is, we started.
Smart. I liked him apologizing. I liked him acknowledging, like, not good.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. This is just like people that talk shit and then get dunked on. I like that they come out and do it. This just happens to be in epic proportions in a play that's going to be remembered for the rest of the NFL. So it's a little bit bigger spotlight. I appreciate him coming out and apologizing. Go ahead.
So, like, teammates wise, what's the vibe in the locker room? Obviously, he's going to get chewed out by coaches, but like, if you're his teammate, are you also like, dude?
Yeah, because it's one play. It comes down to one play. In all these games, it always comes down to 4, 5, 6 plays. But a Hail Mary situation, the offense drove down, finally got a touchdown, put them in a situation to win it. It comes down to literally one play where everybody. And this is the last play every Saturday. I know at least here with the Colts. Every Saturday in the walkthrough, this is the last thing the defense goes over. Where's everybody going to be on a Hail Mary situation? A lot of times they don't even throw it because of the quarterback. Don't want to throw a 60-yard pass. But we go over this ad nauseum week in and week out. So for it to come down for this situation, just something that probably happens, twice this year so far. Aaron Rodgers had one earlier, and now this in the game situation. So he's going to be sick. Teammates definitely going to be pissed at him, but he got another half of a season. I don't think they're going to be releasing him. And I hate first hour of the show. You got AR, Stevenson, 2 Florida guys.
That's what I was about to say. He didn't tap out of the game.
Jeez Louise. It's tough, though.
We got some breaking news. The New England Patriots have just traded Josh Uche to the Kansas City Chiefs.
To the Chiefs?
Yep.
You knew.
Wow.
What is that?
Hey, he sat out yesterday. So yesterday he was like a healthy scratch, kind of knew he wasn't going to be there. Signed a 1-year deal this offseason, even though he had other offers, but he wanted to play for Mayo. Great pass rusher. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
Shefty, what does this mean? New England's going to be active, you think, in trade deadline or no?
Well, the Chiefs are active, obviously. They're adding another linebacker, former second-round draft pick from the Chiefs. And Josh Uche is going there. He was scratched. They were trading him all along. The Chiefs were the team that was interested. And now it's official. He'll be a Kansas City Chief.
Oh, congratulations to all parties getting the deal done.
That's right. Yeah.
Getting the deal done. Judon, yeah, we'll see you. Uche, yeah, we'll see you. Trying to build something over there. Hopefully Drake May can stay healthy. We need him. Let's pivot to tonight, shall we, as we're running lower on time. D-Bud has a question for you, Chef.
Big game, huge game tonight for the NFL. Giants, Steelers, obviously Danny Dimes, day ball. How safe is Danny Dimes' job going into the night? He's kind of playing for his job. Is he on a short lease tonight against the Steelers?
I was laughing because there were stories this morning that he's not going to be on a short leash. And when we're talking about a quarterback not being on a short leash in week 8, and that becomes a story, that's not a good sign. And again, we've talked about this before, but it's worth pointing out again now. Last week they pulled him out of the game briefly, whether it was for rest, whether it was whatever it was. But he's got a $23 million option bonus or an injury bonus next year. So at some point in time, if you're not winning enough and you're going to be in the quarterback market, are you going to keep a guy out there when you've lost your left tackle, Andrew Thomas, to season-ending foot surgery, when he's had the injury history that he's had with neck and knee injuries? Are you going to leave him out there when there's a $23 million injury guarantee that could kick in if he gets hurt? Last year, we saw the Broncos bench Russell Wilson. We saw the Raiders bench Jimmy Garoppolo. In other years, we saw the Raiders bench Derek Carr for that exact reason, to avoid that injury guarantee. And so at some point in time, if the Giants aren't winning, that's going to become an issue. And so that's something to watch here. But they're saying no short leash and all those things like that.
So is Mara walking around Joe Shane's office going, boy, I'll really be in a bad place if I got to pay a guy $23.5 million. That isn't going to be on our team.
You know what?
And Joe Shane goes, hey, don't worry about it. I heard he can't get hurt.
We're not going to.
Is that what Joe Shane said? Just like the Saquon Barkley situation with the Philadelphia Eagles from Hard Knocks this offseason?
There are players that make business decisions and teams make business decisions. So at some point in time, if they're not winning, then they're going to have to make a business decision about whether they want to keep putting him out there.
Got it. On the other side of the Pittsburgh Steelers there, anything notable that we need to think about here? It's Russell Wilson's team.
Yep.
It's Russell Wilson's team. Oh, mama.
They have a bye next week, and so it's a situation where he gets one more chance to go out there and kind of take hold of that job. And so we'll see how that goes right now. But he played well last week, and they wanted to get a look at him before they played any divisional games. He played well, started slow last week, came on, and if he keeps playing like that and they're winning, again, you're going to keep riding him. So this is his chance to show what he can do for this team. Continue to do that tonight.
Hey, Yinzers, let's ride.
Yeah.
All right, Shefty, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you for joining us. You on TV tonight?
Yeah, we got a little NFL Live this afternoon, Monday Night Countdown tonight. Yep, doing it from the house.
From the house? I thought you were going to Pittsburgh.
I do it from my house.
I thought you were doing it from Pittsburgh. You don't want to go to Pittsburgh? What's the deal?
I didn't make the travel squad. No, it's just easier to do it this way.
All right, well, thank you for joining us from your Monday Night Countdown studio. Jeez Louise. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. We need him out there.
Yeah, what the hell?
With a terrible towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me neither. Put Shefty out there. Put him in front of the Yinzers.
Put him with Brett Michaels.
Yeah.
In the suites.
Is Brett Michaels going to be there tonight? Who's all going to be at the game tonight?
He'll be there. Billy Gardell will be there. What's her name?
Sierra?
You're a good person.
Sierra will be there. Happy birthday, Sierra.
Happy birthday, Sierra.
I heard Fetterman's going to be there.
What was that? Yes, Fetterman has been in a few games, I believe. He's doing a lot of interviews.
Joe Manganiello will be here.
All right. Joe Manganiello's going to be here?
Yep.
Hopefully with his shirt
Batman
off.
will be here.
Yeah, Keaton.
Keaton will be here.
Mike Keaton's going to be here.
Always.
He's excited for trade deadline day.
He's very excited for trade deadline day.
Juiced.
All right, hour 2 is on the other side. AJ Hawk will join us. Coach Bill Belichick will join us. And obviously, we have overreactions from around the globe. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life, like our friends at Dude Wipes.
We have an opportunity to give away $75,000 to a kid named Daniel Villasenor.
Absolutely.
You're a sophomore, correct?
Yeah.
What is your major?
Civil engineering?
Okay, so what's that mean? What is civil engineering?
I don't really know.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When? Were you a soccer player?
Soccer player, yeah.
Okay, how were you at kicking soccer balls? Pretty good?
I was okay. I was good.
Have you ever said anything negative about football kickers?
Maybe once or twice.
Daniel! Damn, Daniel! We don't need that. You make a field goal here from 33 yards uphill. You're the civil engineer. You'd have to tell me, I think it's about a 40-yard kick. If you're able to do that, we will give you $75,000.
All right.
He's got no laces.
Yeah, what do we got going here? Can we get a shot of shoes?
What time?
Hey, a shot of the shoes.
Daniel showed up in his Vans with no laces. What time did you get here for this?
About 11:40 last night.
You need a lot of power.
Good luck, Daniel.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Wait a second.
Just like everything this morning, that was a surprise. We did not expect that.
Let's go. We got to do
One more kick for $100,000.
You got this, dude.
Let's go. How about this, Daniel? How about this, Daniel? Not only is this one for $100,000, if you make it, we'll add another $100,000 to the $500,000 donation we're about to make from College Game Day to the hurricane relief. It could be $600,000 if you make this, with $100,000 going into your pocket. Daniel, this is bigger than you. Let's make a kick, bro.
Way to overcome the shoes here. That was a heck of an effort. Come on, you got this.
In Berkeley, California.
You got it.
Oh! Proud of you, buddy. Hell yeah.
Great job.
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. All right.
What just happened?
Are you kidding me?
It's 11:40 he was there. I know.
600,000 to hurricane relief. 100,000 to Daniel. What a morning in Berkeley. Way to go, Daniel.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You ping! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our spooky, humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive Overreaction Monday, October 28th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football! It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it? Football's the greatest.
Best.
What college has done for us all year, phenomenal. What the NFL did this past weekend, great. I think that's a sign of things to come, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, Giants and Steelers in Pittsburgh is going to be a must-watch, electrifying affair. In the NFL, for the rest of the season, is going to be games that you're going to remember forever, just like that Cowboys-Niners game became last night, just like that Commanders-Bears game became, just like that AFC South Championship game between the Texans and the Colts. I mean, right now, football is throwing 100 on the paint. Speaking of that, let's go to the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Game 3 of the World Series tonight. Yeah, Dodgers up 2-0. Shohei Ohtani is an absolute monster, leading a great group, including the phenomenal Freddie Freeman. Are the Yankees about to get blanked? This one's in New York, or what should we look forward to tonight?
Yeah, this one's in New York. Yankees are actually favorites tonight.
What do they know?
Believe it or not, Ohtani hasn't been the one killing the Yankees. It's been the bottom of the Dodgers lineup. Aaron Boone, bonehead decision, putting Nestor Cortez out there to face Freddie Freeman, who absolutely has been raking against lefties throughout his career. Nestor Cortez hasn't pitched in like 2 months. So, yeah, hey, you're a starter. Let's put you in the highest leverage situation of your career. And what does he do? He throws a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle.
That's BP, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Big out right before that. He gets Ohtani to pop out, which was massive. Booney, we had another guy in the pen, another lefty who had been nails all playoffs. Boone decides to stick with Nestor Cortez. They lose that one. that was a backbreaker because if the Yankees won at least one game in LA, I would have felt really good. So yeah, now they have no choice. You probably need to win definitely need to win all 3 in New York. But it starts tonight. Absolutely need to win tonight. And then the Dodgers have already said they're going to do a bullpen game tomorrow. So need to win tonight. Need to get to the bullpen early.
What if you guys lose tonight and then lose to a bullpen game, which I don't even know what it means, but it sounds like a carnival.
Yeah, it is.
They got a bullpen game coming up, so that seems like one that we should win. Should be able to walk right over, go ahead and do this entire song and dance, walk out with a stuffed animal, and at least get a win. What is a bullpen game?
They're not going to have like a traditional starting pitcher, so they're going to have a guy start the game and probably maybe throw like 1 inning or 2 innings, and then they have another guy throw 1 inning or 2 innings. So they're going to use like 6 different pitchers as opposed to what they did in the first 2 games and have one guy hope he can give them like 5 or 6 good innings.
Why did they announce this already? Hey, listen, coming up game 4, got good news for you. Bullpen game. All our middle relievers are actually going to be our actual pitchers. Is that to get the pitchers ready, the fans ready? Is that like hey, just a heads up, game 4 might be tough for us with how we're sitting? Why would they make that information?
They've kind of been doing that the whole playoffs because they've had the injury bug a little bit, so they've only had like 3 starting pitchers.
They're about to win the World Series with a bunch of injury bugs?
What?
Oh, my God. How are the Yankees? Are the Yankees okay?
Uh-oh. Yeah, the Yankees will be fine. You have to win tonight. I mean, in New York, have to win. Clark Schmidt, good opportunity for the biggest game of his career, and they just got it. They're leaving a lot of guys on base.
Ducks on the pond.
Yeah, leaving a lot of ducks on the pond. But they showed some fight in game 2. I was worried they were just going to end up getting their ass kicked. They loaded the bases. Put a run across in the 9th inning and had an opportunity to take the lead. They didn't, but that it is what it is.
How's Shohei's wrist? Do we know?
It was his shoulder.
Really?
And they said Dave Roberts already came out and said he's good. He's going to play tonight, so he'll be DHing tonight.
Obviously, we knew Shohei would figure it out.
I mean, he could have tapped.
Could have.
Listen, how old is Shohei?
I think he's like 30.
Oh my God. Anthony Richardson is 22 years old.
Yep.
It makes more sense then.
He's tired. I don't remember when I was 22 ever being tired. That was the problem. That's why I was out so much. Because I was never tired.
Still show up and
bingo. I don't get tired. You remember that song?
Oh yeah.
Used to listen to that. Like I get 10 jobs wherever I don't get tired. I used to be like, yeah, we don't. And then you get to an age you do. Oh, you do get the time.
22. Yeah.
Well, no, because 22 is when you're feeling good. Remember, because I'm feeling 22. It's like the best feeling. Taylor, look, 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. How'd you feel when you were 22?
Oh, great.
Oh, my
Never
God.
Got tired. Never
So
got
good.
tired. And I think Taylor's coming here.
Yeah, this
We
weekend.
saw her in the airport. Yeah, saw her.
You saw her in the airport?
Signs.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry. Signs.
You weren't at her.
Well, she does
in
fly a
the
lot.
airport for sure.
Well, of course, she has to satisfy the Swifties all around the globe. She sold this stadium out 3 times. I don't know how many people have done it. I think Morgan Wallen sold it out twice. I think Garth Brooks. I think Garth Brooks sold it out. There's a lot. He's in a commercial, and
I don't think he's selling it out anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that whole thing. I'm excited for
Elton
Swift.
John sold it out about 8 times. He just never performed. He just kept canceling.
Oh,
it, selling it
yeah,
out
delayed.
again, canceling it.
And then he retired, right?
Yeah.
And he's not playing it.
He's done.
So she's gonna come rock this place.
Weapon.
I think I will be seeing at least one of the shows.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Because anytime you get a chance to watch a master at work, you got to really take it in legitimately. I enjoy watching people do their thing. If they're at a high level and they are considered the best, which she obviously is, it's like I want to see how she goes about performing, but also the whole operation. I'm so intrigued by all of it. Bill Belichick will be joining us in about 5 minutes or whatever. He said, I watched her at Foxborough 3 hours straight, rain, pouring down rain, didn't miss me. It's like, I can't wait to watch what she did. Because I think everybody that's ever left her show says, great show, amazing show. She's a showman. She gets at it. It's like, I can't wait to see it. She's coming to Indianapolis. I thought you said you saw her. I was about to be like, what was it like? Could you feel the aura? Could you understand?
If I was at your airport, maybe your airport would be busy though. The driver I had last night, hey, next weekend, I got guys flying in. They'll be here. I'll just be waiting all day. Come back waiting.
It's not my airport.
Be playing here. Your airport.
It is an airport that is closer to where we live, obviously. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tony's here. How'd the public do this weekend? Do we know we had a nice run? 3 weeks straight, the public percentages of betting were winning. Or did we do that again?
Yeah, they got a bit this weekend. Well, 60% of teams teams that are getting 60% of the public bet this weekend were 6-6. Teams that didn't win, Vikings were getting 70%, Jets were getting 77%, Packers were getting 80%, Texans getting 77%, Ravens get 82%, and Chiefs got 82%. None of those teams covered. The only one that team did those are all high 70s and 80s. The only one on the other side of that was the Lions, who were 88%, and they did cover pretty easily.
Yeah.
So the public got a bit, especially you throw in those money line parlays, and a team like the Ravens lose. I assume no one had the Browns money line. That's going to kill. That's all those parlays and teasers and stuff like that. We're going to get crushed.
Well, we don't like to do this, but congrats to the sports books.
Congrats.
We're really happy for you.
Good weekend.
Happy you're able to get back after getting your asses beat for numerous weeks straight. Thought maybe that was just going to be the new normal.
Be sweet.
We walk into Sportsbook's trap.
Yep.
We take over Sportsbook's trap.
We bet no cap.
That's what Kirk Cousins said, and I thought that's what we were going to do. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's in an attic in Ohio. He's a Super Bowl champion, a college football national champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. What's going on over there? They just win, it seems like.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
McManus, back-to-back weeks, game-winning field goals.
Huge. I think he said that's the first time in his career that has happened.
In Jacksonville, too.
Yeah.
That had to feel real nice.
I'm sure it did.
Ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, Packers are in a good spot, no matter who's quarterback, seemingly. LaFleur's a master over there.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if you saw Malik's touchdown. That was a sweet little play they drew up for him going on the red zone, 5-yard line going in. The Packers seem to be pretty confident offensively and defensively right now.
Remember last time Malik was in for the Green Bay Packers, AQ pulled up some film of the old Titans days, what LaFleur was doing back in Tennessee, dropped Malik into those plays. So I think he feels very comfortable with the playbook that he has for Malik Willis to be their quarterback. Obviously got some wins early, had great moxie, great confidence. The roster, although not very notable in a lot of positions, feels like it's very talented. And if you get Jordan Love healthy for a playoff push, anything's possible there in Green Bay, AJ.
Yeah, it is. But what's the update on Jordan Love? It was his groin, but he's probably going to be okay next game?
No, he's probably going to be out next week, and then there's a bye. So they're probably going to get him because I think next week you guys got Lions, and then there's a bye afterwards. I think Schefter said he's probably out for the next 2 weeks to let him recover. Malik Willis probably taking on the red-hot Detroit Lions.
Yeah, whoa.
This Lions team, AJ, is fun to watch, and they got huge production from their special teams. There was a pick, I believe, that took them back in the plus 30. There was 2 punt returns, a kick return, and Jared Goff didn't throw for 100 yards, but he had a 75% completion rate and had a couple of touchdowns. It's like he didn't have that many yards to have to get because of how good the special teams were for the Detroit Lions. We've talked about the defense. Obviously, how are they going to be able to perform without Aiden Hutchinson? Great. We talked about the offense being unbelievable and so much fun to watch. Now the special teams with Coach Phipp and the boys are becoming dominant. This Lions team, it'd be hard if I was a Lions fan not to just assume we're winning the Super Bowl. It'd be hard, especially after these last 2 weeks. Foxy, I don't know what it's like in Detroit, but I would assume there are very, very realistic, high expectations for this team.
Yeah, exactly, Pat. Being a Lions fan is so much different now because when we were the same old Lions, I would wake up every single Sunday and I would say, how are we going to lose today? Is it going to be heartbreak? Is it going to be the refs? Or are we going to get killed by 40 points? Now I wake up every single Sunday and I go, how are we going to win today? Is it going to be through the air? Is it going to be on the ground? Is it going to be the defense? Or this week, is it special teams? They literally have it all. And to your point, we're about halfway through the season. And yeah, I'm thinking we're going to win the Super Bowl. And if they don't, I'm going to be kind of upset. Man. I love watching this team. They are so much fun to watch. Ben Johnson, Goff, everyone is dialed in. And to your point, for Goff to not even throw for 100 yards and for them to put up 52 or 53 points, it's just unbelievable. It makes no sense, and I can't believe what I'm watching every single Sunday.
Now, the Eagles also have seemingly found it on the NFC side. The San Francisco 49ers are back to doing their things, even though they have some injuries. It's like, why not the Detroit Lions represent the NFC? I think it's because you said Green Bay Packers. What do we even talk about? The NFC North is a murderer's row all of a sudden.
It definitely is. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL, though. I don't think there's really any question about that. But, yeah, I would put the Packers right up there. And then, obviously, Commanders. I think, quietly, the Commanders with what Jaden Daniels has done.
Team of destiny feel.
Yeah, it really does. And then the Vikings still can't forget about them, but them losing Christian Darrisaw is huge. Absolutely massive. So we'll see. I feel very good about the NFC North right now.
This early in the year, last year, we were crowning teams. You remember when we were doing it? We were crowning teams?
Crown them, yeah.
One of the teams that we were crowning heavily early, we weren't the only ones. Miami Dolphins. Hey, big game this weekend, Gumps. How'd the Miami Dolphins do this weekend, and what are our views going forward now?
We lost. Tua looked good. Offense looked better. And then we were up 10, complete control of the game. Guy snapped the ball, goes up for a safety, flipped the game on its head. And then we couldn't get a fucking stop the rest of the game. So, yeah, we lost to the Cardinals after completely dominating the game. And Dolphins fans seem to think this is somehow Tua's fault, even though it was the first time I've had any joy watching the Dolphins in 5 weeks.
Did the offense move at all? I watched them against the Colts, and it was nothing. It was tough to watch. It was terrible, miserable football to watch. And after what you guys had experienced, then go to that, I assume it was tough football. Was there great football early in this game for the?
Yeah, H.N. ran for 97. Mostert walked one in. The one play I would like to be removed from the playbook if Coach McDaniel is listening.
He's not.
The 3rd and goal corner fade to Tyreek Hill when we can do so much with motion and shit. Just cut it out. I'm done with it. I don't want to see that. It's never fucking worked. We've tried it every time we're in the red zone. It does not work. Mostert walks in. H.N. walks in, both touchdowns. We don't need a corner fade. We can run the ball. We can do so much. Jonnu Smith was unbelievable with Tyler Huntley, and then he doesn't get the ball. It's like, come on, man. You just couldn't lose that game. Arizona on a short week. Mind you, Kyler played unbelievable, and it was Marvin Harrison's best game by far.
Yeah, 11 receptions, I think. I forget the exact. He is. If they're going to start finding him, he's going to start making catches. And the Cardinals are winning games now.
Yeah.
Chad Ryland, their kicker, 3-game winners this year already for them. What a little magical run out there in the desert, 34-yarder, to put them ahead as the clock expired. Miami Dolphins fans go, this ain't how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and they saw Chad Ryland last year.
Yes, they did for the Patriots, and he wasn't making kicks. Now he's making kicks. Everything's going right for the Cardinals. Is everything going to continue to go wrong for the Dolphins? We don't believe. It's great to have Tua back. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Speaking of being back, ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the greatest of all time when it comes to head coaching in the NFL and being a general manager of an NFL team. We get a chance to chat with him every single week, and god damn, it's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Coach, how you doing?
What's up, Pat?
Hey.
Jay, how we doing?
Fantastic. Bill Belichick Foundation, tell me a little bit about it. I like the polo. The logo is obviously sweet. Who we helping? How we helping them?
Oh, yes. Student athletes, giving scholarships and giving grants to foundations.
That's awesome, Bill.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Make the world a little better place. I saw your son this weekend on the field when we were walking from the outdoor game day set to the indoor game day set. He was standing about near the numbers or so. I was on the sideline. I gave a Steve, and he turned and looked, and I said, big fan, man. And he didn't know who I was at first. And he said, oh, you too. Good man. Tell him I was only complimenting him, and I am a massive fan of his work.
Yeah. No, he knows who you are, Pat. Don't worry about that.
Okay, good news.
Everybody knows who you are. Trust me.
Yeah, it's not good in some conversations. Let's talk about football yesterday. Obviously, massive play made in the Commanders-Bears game, and there's a lot of chitter-chatter around it, whether it's Tyreek Stevenson, what he's doing during the play, Jaden Daniels extending the play, throwing the bomb, them making the catch. How do you view this? And with the Hail Marys, what are the things you were teaching your team, both on offense and defensive side of the ball?
Well, first of all, Daniels does a great job of running around and extending the play. And you see at the very end how he moves forward and launches the ball. It looks like it's going to come down right on the goal line or maybe a yard or so short. It's a long throw, but he needs to be able to step into it and launch it down there. So I'd say on the pass rush, you want to try to avoid that from happening. Offensively, do what he did, extend the play as long as you can, give everybody a chance to get in the end zone, and then you really want to have one guy jumping, somebody that's big and can jump. Keyshawn Johnson was probably the best guy for me when I was at the Jets. He did that. And then have the other players play the tip or the rebound, as we would call it. But what really makes this play go is Daniels, and then nobody for the Bears comes to attack Daniels. So he's able to step in and javelin it, about 65 yards, into that crowd. And then, all the Bears guys go up at once to try to tip it. They're all in the air, so nobody can play the tip, and it's an easy touchdown.
We went through it every single week during our walkthrough. Yep. At the very end, there was always, I assume you guys did as well. What do you think? This was just lack of focus in a key moment? Because obviously 29 is a part of the story. They're 40 yards down the field already. He's still talking shit to the crowd. How's that happen? And what do you think happens there between Coach Eberflus and he today or after the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a ridiculous play. Doesn't get the call, doesn't know how they're going to play it. It looks like Washington is trying to run a little bit of an over route too, where they would run past that jump ball area, and then everybody kind of scrambles back to the middle once Daniels buys time and resets. But it's really a great job by Washington. They have two guys going up for the ball, one guy playing for the front tip, one guy playing for the back tip, and obviously a terrible play by Stevenson. He has no idea what's going on and runs over there and jumps up and volleyballs it up in the air for a game-losing play. It was terrible.
It was. I thought it was a fake video. When it hit the internet, I thought it was a fake video. I said, there's no way. This is the NFL. There's no way in this moment. You're literally 6-7 seconds away from a win. Yeah. You can hold off. Yep. 6-7 seconds. Can you not? Even if you need to talk shit to somebody, have to.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. That's where you get with your teammates and say, okay, I'm going up for the jump. I'm going to have the outside tip. I'm going to have the in-front tip. I'm going to have the back tip. Because you don't want them to tip it forward and have somebody catch it on the 5-6 yard line and just walk into the end zone either. So you really want to kind of box out the potential receivers, but have somebody who's big and strong and tall enough to go and jump high enough to get the ball and make sure that, the receiver just doesn't jump up and pull it down for the catch. But then you have to be ready to handle the tip. And, of course, you can get two hands on the ball. The best thing to do is just knock it straight down onto the ground. But the one thing you definitely don't want to happen here either that Chicago lets happen is the quarterback doubles back. And once he scrambles out to one side or the other, whoever the last man is in the rush from the middle of the field should get to the quarterback's level and not let him double back and force him to stay on the side of the field that he's on. So, there's some breakdowns in the rush, and there were some breakdowns, obviously, in the coverage. And Daniels, his athleticism and his arm made the play possible. And it was a great job by Washington keeping it alive.
Go ahead, D-Bucks.
Hey, Coach, what about that play right before that kind of set up the Hail Mary throw to Terry? Terry McLaurin, I believe, got that 13 yards. How would you play this situation with no timeouts for the offense?
So we'd play outside leverage on all the receivers and then play, 2 or 3 deep players. But not let. I mean, they give up a cheap. It's about cheap. We call it a cheap 5, but it's actually cheap 10, maybe 12, whatever it was. It just makes the throw a little bit easier. So, there's no reason to just let him get the ball to midfield where the Hail Mary's in reach. Otherwise, this is a desperado play where they lateral it around and that type of thing, and those plays are a lot harder to connect on.
Eberflus came out.
Yeah, really good point, D. But it wasn't just the last play. It was the play before the last play that really made that possible. But like right here, to me, the two defensive linemen, one of those two defensive linemen should keep Daniels from coming back to the middle of the field where he can just launch it.
They all lined up on that left side to almost seemingly want to flush him to the other way. So then when he counters back and then he's able to get back, that is a great play. Coach Eberflus told reporters today that Tyreek Stevenson addressed his teammates today about the incident, and then he also said that Tyreek's got to do a good job of putting his body on Noah Brown. So I guess his role was to probably get the guy that was in the – so, I mean, that's just complete – worst case scenario for Tyreek Stevenson. Worst case scenario for what he did, how he went about doing. You had you said Keyshawn. You also, I remember Randy, I think, was back there a couple times. You had Gronk back there. They threw one underneath though, which is a nightmare, I assume, for that situation. But obvious Hail Mary, you always went with an offensive guy because they're just comfortable with the ball.
Oh, no, we go with defensive players, too. I mean, Talib was great. Aqib Talib was great because he was tall. He had great ball skills and great jumping ability. So whoever that player is, I think he has to have a level of toughness. He can't get pushed around back there. He's got to be able to stand up to to a bunch of guys trying to box him out like underneath the basket in basketball. So you want somebody that has some playing strength, some height and ball skills. McCourty, was the free safeties, Eric Turner in Cleveland, free safety, Devin McCourty, guys like that. They can certainly do it too. But, a guy like Keyshawn that's tall and strong. I met with Keyshawn every week about this play. And so, he was great to coach. But we'd spend 5 minutes, every week going over how they ran it, 2x2, 3x1, how far the quarterback could throw it and so forth. And And he was great. Randy, Rob, like all those guys.
Yeah. That play is going to be remembered forever. 1 verse 2, how's it end? Hail Mary, which ends up with 29 having to apologize to his teammates the next day. Never a good thing. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, in the Bucks-Falcons game, there was a controversial play, and it's crazy that there's not a camera, I guess, on the goal line. What do you make? I know you've been a proponent of this, of having cameras everywhere, and especially on the goal line. What do you make of this play, and do you think maybe they do finally listen to you after this?
I don't understand why this is such a problem. The camera could be clearly mounted on the side of the stadium on the goal line, just like we have in tennis, the goal line, the end line, and the sidelines, or just build it there somewhere, build a stand and put it on there. I can't imagine money's a problem. NFL's got plenty of money. Maybe we got to have a car wash and raise some money if that's a problem, but I can't.
Yeah.
There's cameras that cover the entire stadium, security cameras. If you dumped a beer on somebody in row whatever, there'd be a camera that would see that, and they'd eject the fan out of the stadium for their behavior. So I don't know why we can't get a camera on the goal line and the end line and the sidelines. It's really frustrating as a coach because you want to know that on a play like this, you have a good chance to evaluate the play. And this play is very similar to the play we had in Denver, where Watson ran down
Champ
kid from Georgia. Champ ran down Champ, and it was a play very similar to this, but it was like a 99-yard interception return. So he chased them all the way. All the cameras were at the other end of the field where we were getting ready to score. Champ intercepted it. Watson ran him down to the other end of the field, and there were literally no cameras down there. They were 90 yards away. There was no angle, and so you couldn't see the play. But yeah, look, we just want to get this right. Everybody wants to get this right. The teams, the players, the officials, the fans. So just put a camera there, and
you know what?
We have a camera now on the sideline at the first down marker
on the pylon.
On in some games, not all games. We have that in some games. And look, sometimes there's too many bodies there, and you just really can't see. Well, if they can't see, you can't see. Like that's what it is. But there are plenty of times when that camera gives you a good look at it. And I think it helps, certainly helps to come to some of the college plays. Seems like the colleges do it a little more than some of the networks do. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Zito, how much is a GoPro? How much is a GoPro, a good one?
$300.
Okay, so if we buy 64 of those,
yeah.
Okay, obviously. Well, I guess there's multiple places. We only need to buy 30 of them, probably, right? Because MetLife 2, SoFi 2 teams.
Yep.
So I don't know the proper math there. If you eliminate probably just 30 of them. So 60 of them then, one for each side. You just put a GoPro and just wire that thing to a thing.
So if you do it right, you'd have 12 on the field, right? 4 on each sideline, 1 at either end, and 4 on the,
first down,
and 8 on the sidelines,
back of the end zone, front of the end zone, side, the whole
from
thing.
either side. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Figured it out.
Somebody should donate it.
Can the pylons not have cameras in them?
Some of them do.
Some of them, not all of them.
Can't they use the fine money?
See, I thought, now, can we go back to the TV copy of that play instead of the guy that was on the 1.5 yard line? He said that was the second one that was much more clear in that entire thing. The one they had for TV, there was a one from the back, like the other side, like the back.
Right.
I don't know if we have it from the left side, but there's like, yeah, here we go. This one right here. So his toe, I think you can tell that it was not on the goal line. I thought you could have used like physics, just like his arm is still behind his body. If his toe is not in, arm behind body, I thought they potentially would be like, yeah.
That's the Pythagorean theorem.
I don't think that is. No, the Pythagorean theorem
Transitive property.
is an A squared B squared equals C squared situation. It is a transitive property, which I believe is in the whole thing. But nonetheless, the fact that they got to that, NFC South,
it's a big game.
Leadership.
Yeah,
This is a massive, massive game. Obviously, a touchdown can't happen like that. All right, let's move to.
It's very Pat. It's very similar to the play in the playoff game against Denver with Watson and Champ. It's very similar, except the play goes out of bounds. The ball goes out of bounds in the end zone, and again, it's a shot similar to that where if you put it together, it certainly looked to me like the ball was hit before it crossed the goal line, but. This is where the angles are just, you can't
Denver up 10-6. Champ taking it to the house. Oh, my God, it's about to be 17-6. I don't think so.
Oh, shit.
Effort, drive, chase him down. Watson.
And look, so these two guys, they don't know what to do.
Man.
Champ thinks it's
They
over.
They were way behind, too, weren't they? They're chasing. I mean, they can't run as fast as Ben Watson.
Yeah, but we should have updated technology since this point. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
Look at who's at that thing. We should have.
But, I mean, it's
Go ahead.
a key play. We're down by 4. Now we're down by
10.
11. So
Barring extra point. I assume you guys blocked the extra point.
what I'm saying, we would have had the ball back, started the fourth quarter. Anyway, it was it's a very similar play, but all the cameras are down at the other end, except for I guess this one. I don't know where this one is, but they're all down at the other end, and there's no. There's not a great look at the play.
Did they have the choo-choo? Obviously, you got a text message coming through. And we saw all the balls behind you. Very clever. Oh, yeah. Those seemingly are all New England Patriot versus Jets games there. I think those game balls.
Hell yeah.
And on that.
Yeah, there. Yeah, the one behind me is, I think that was our 21st straight win. I had a few Jet balls up there on the shelf, so thought this would be a good time to pull them out.
Yeah, right there above the Lombardis and the Emmy, next to some other awards. Here's a game ball from Patriots versus Jets, just another historic win for us. Mm-hmm. This is old hat here. Patriots beating the hell out of the Jets. This particular game has sent their fan base into quite a tizzy. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, of course, as a Patriots fan, nothing like beating the Jets, even better with all the high hopes that they had, especially coming into this week. But what did you think about the Patriots kind of team win, responding to Gerard Mayo, calling them out for being soft against the Jaguars, and then, ending up having Jacoby Brissett lead him down with, 3.5 left to win the game with Ramondre Stevenson's second touchdown?
Yeah, it was a great drive by Jacoby and the Patriots there at the end. And obviously Stevenson had a big game. Tough day for the Jets. Used up all their timeouts in the first quarter. Missed PAT. The scrambles. May ran for more than he threw for. Just a lot of mistakes by the Jets, and then that ended up killing him in the end with Jacoby's scrambles. And Butte made a catch down there. Mm-hmm. There were several drops in the game, but just a game that you got to look at Jacoby. And then Riddick came in the game and just ran past the quarterback multiple times, whether it was May or Jacoby, and created those scramble lanes that the Patriots took advantage of. And big win for them. Big win for the Patriots at home against the Jets, and the Jets are now in a tough spot.
Yeah, their fan base is actively losing their minds,
crumbling.
I mean, it is loud. Mike Greenberg did a 2-minute monologue this morning about how this is the biggest failure that the Jets have ever had.
History of sports.
History of sports, yeah, and definitely the lowest of lows for a Jets fan in the history of ball. Brothers, in the history of ball. He said this is the worst because of the expectations and the hopes. If you're that team right now, what do you think is the message, or what do you think is the mindset? Because like Shefty said, they've pulled every lever. They've tried. They've pulled every single lever, and it's just not working. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other levers they could have pulled over the last, 25, 30 years that could have them in a different situation. But what do you think the message is from Ulbrich to that team?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it starts at the top, and so as you said, Woody started pulling the levers, got rid of, fired Salah, which I don't understand that. I thought that he's done a great job there with the defense and made the defensive coordinator the head coach. So I'm not really sure what that did. Changed some play calling, brought in Devontae, got Riddick back. I don't know. It seems like a lot of moves here by Woody that I'm not sure. I don't really understand how they add up. But I'd say it's more a question for him to answer than me. I think from the outside, it's maybe hard to understand why they would do some of the things they did. So I think you have to ask the guy who did them.
Yeah, Jets fans are wondering the same exact thing you are, Coach. And
all these scrambles are in the same spot. They're all up over the right guard, whether it was May or Brissett in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. Neither guy threw for very many yards. I mean, May only threw for 20 yards, but gained a lot of yards with his feet. And I mean, I think you get up against a defensive team like with Salah. I mean, those kind of plays just didn't happen because of how disciplined they were. They just don't give you those free third down conversion on scrambles or red area scrambles that turn into touchdowns. You just didn't used to get those from him. So I don't really know what's happened. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Coach, I love that you're like, Salah's the problem, huh? That's basically your angle. Like, okay, so
look, I thought he did a good job. When he came in there, that was the worst defense in the league. They were 32nd or maybe 33rd, 34th. I don't know. They were terrible. And in the last, ever since that first year, I mean, he's had them in the top 5 defensively. They were really hard to move the ball on, run, and pass. Obviously, they had some struggles offensively, but it was the same thing. They got beat on a punt return by Marcus Jones a couple of years ago on the last play of the game, and gave up another 65-yarder to him again yesterday. So I don't know how many times you want to just keep lobbing it down there to Marcus Jones. I don't. That's one of the few weapons really that's been consistent for the Patriots. But there's the ball right down the middle, and there he goes.
See ya.
I mean, this is a guy that's very, very dangerous with the ball in his hands. We used him on offense for, some jet sweeps and tear screens and things like that. He's fast and hard to tackle. And so, it's just another example of, kicking the ball down the middle to a good returner, like the Patriots did last week against the Jaguars. This week, the Jets did it to them. To Marcus Jones. And Jones has beaten him before. It's not the first time this has happened.
You just want to lob one down there, right down the middle of the field. That's a good idea. I really do appreciate how much respect you have for Coach Saleh, and I assume he does as well. He got a job pretty quickly, Bill. I mean, he's over there with LaFleur, with the Packers, giving eyes on the offense. Obviously, the Packers are able to get wins, even with Jordan Love getting injured. Who knows what that looks like going forward. Hopefully, he gets back healthy. But there's our teams with the trade deadline just 8 days away. Tuesday, November 5th. Trade deadline day in the NFL. That is what everybody's talking about.
Trade deadline. Yeah. No, Pat. There's a lot of people talking about Election Day on next Tuesday.
No, trade. They've been saying trade early. Trade early. That's what everybody's saying. No. The Chiefs traded early, which we think everybody should do.
That's right.
Everybody should trade or get out and trade early. You only got 8 days to trade on trade deadline day. But the Chiefs, let's talk about that particular move. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach, the Chiefs obviously trade for DeAndre Hopkins, and while the stats on Sunday weren't crazy, I think everyone was kind of just saying, hey, he'll be one of these guys who can, move the chain on third downs, and he'll be a good weapon for Patrick Mahomes. And then about an hour ago, they traded for Josh Uche as well. But if you're Brett Veach or Andy Reid, how do you kind of know when to keep your foot on the gas and maybe add more when it looks like they are kind of separating themselves from the rest of the AFC? And do you think these two moves they do make them, head and shoulders above the next closest contender in the AFC?
Well, I think, look, when you have a good team, I think if you can acquire an asset for not without giving up a lot, that's a good move. I don't know, what did they give him for Uche?
Sixth.
A sixth. Okay. So Uche is at the end of his contract this year. He'll be a free agent. If they don't re-sign him, then they'll get a comp pick, which would probably be a sixth anyway. So really, they didn't give up anything other than they would have to wait a year to get that pick back. So I assume it was a 25 sixth. If it was a 26 sixth, then honestly, then they didn't give up anything in my mind. And then if you like the player and re-sign him, then you re-sign him. Look, Josh Uche is a really good rusher. He hasn't had a chance to rush much this year for the Patriots because they've been behind a lot, and it's the situation hasn't been good. But he had a big year 2 years ago. Now he had Judon on the other side of him, so it was two good pass rushers. But he'll have a lot of opportunities to rush in Kansas City. I think that he'll really help him. He's got surprising power for his size. He's got excellent quickness and a good get off, and he has some flexibility in coverage. So I think it's a good addition for a team that needs another pass rusher, which everybody does. Josh can do that. He'll definitely help him. Hopkins, this guy's a dependable catcher. He's probably not what he was, but he's still a force. He's a hard guy to cover. He's great in zone coverage. He's got great hands. He's a great red area receiver and third down conversion. So if he picks up 1 or 2 third downs and makes a play in the red area, he's going to help you in every game. I think it's a great move. He's hungry. He hasn't played in a big game in a long time, and I'm sure he's excited to get back into the action and have playing in games that are really important. So that's two good players that honestly I don't think they gave up very much for. And in the end, they'll probably be able to get back for Uche whatever they put into it.
To your point, 2026 sixth rounder for Uche. Yeah, so we got years to maybe get that one back.
So a 2026 sixth rounder, they take him this year. If they don't re-sign him, they'll probably get a sixth as a comp pick, so it washes out. If they do re-sign him, then that means they like the player and the player can help them win. And so it's a great trade. So, I mean, I think it's a great trade for Kansas City. They probably, it sounded like the Patriots probably could have got more for him last week, but they, tried to, it sounded like it didn't work out. And then, Kansas City got Hopkins. And so they had to, change the trade around. I think it was a great move by Kansas City. They didn't really give up anything for him.
How do you feel about Veach, seemingly going all in? I think you said in a quote, we've been all in for 20 years or something. You made a lot of plays, brought in a lot of people, understood the team that you had, and tried to make it better. There's some teams that don't operate like that, whether it's because they're not in it, they don't think they're in it, or do you like what Veach is doing, how he's treating this, knowing this moment in time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Look, Pat, how many players in the sixth round in 25 do you think are really going to help the Kansas City Chiefs win? I don't know. I wouldn't say there's probably a long list of them. Could Uche help them win this year? Absolutely. How many players in the fifth round next year are going to help Kansas City win? I don't know. Be lucky if the guy makes the team. The Chiefs have a pretty good team. Can Hopkins help them win? Sure. Those trades don't really amount to much of anything. In the big picture, if you want a fifth back, I'm sure they can move back in the first or second round and get a fifth, or probably get 5 or 6 of them if they really want fifth round picks. But I think what they need are players that will impact the game and help them, address their depth in different areas. And I think they've done a great job of that. That's really a good play. Same thing with Buffalo. Buffalo gets a good receiver for no money, right? Cleveland paid the contract. It was already a minimum contract anyway, so they don't have to pay any money for him on the cap, and they get a good player. So you look at the Jets. The Jets gave up, probably the same thing, a higher third than Buffalo's third, but they're also taking on a big contract on a 1-year deal. So it seemed like there's on a lot of levels the Cleveland trade for the same position for, I don't want to say a similar type of player, but a similar type of player. There was quite a difference in what Buffalo gave up compared to what the Jets gave up.
Shout out to the Jets.
Shout
out to the Jets. And I appreciate you rattling that. What I was going to say is let's stay at the top of the AFC because all these teams are making moves. And then at the top of the AFC, including a team you just mentioned, Ravens just had quite a Sunday in Cleveland. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, last week we were talking about how, just impressive and unbelievable the offense has been for the Ravens, almost historic so far this season. But we did talk about their one Achilles heel so far has been their pass defense, specifically in the fourth quarter. And it showed up again yesterday against the Browns and Jameis Winston. And Kyle Hamilton, could have ended that game with an interception, but unfortunately dropped it. And they have guys back there, but it seems like they're just blowing coverages. What do you see from the Ravens pass defense? And is that something that's fixable?
Well, I'm sure they hope it is. They brought in Dean Pease last week as a advisor or consultant or whatever it was, and I think that's Dean's background is in pass defense. He's been with the Ravens. He's a great defensive coordinator in the league, and I'm sure that part of bringing him in there was to address the overall defensive situation. Look, they lost 3 good defensive coaches last year. McDonald, and then two other guys that moved on as coordinators. So I would say just the overall lack of experience defensively on their staff is, maybe something that Coach Harbaugh and the Ravens organization wanted to address. And, I think that probably has something to do with Dean being in there. But no, it's not taking anything away from War. I'm just saying, just overall experience on the defensive staff is valuable. And I think is the point when you look back to the Washington-Chicago game, I think there's a good example of 2, good young quarterbacks having a lot of trouble against 2 good defensive coordinators who are head coaches. Mm-hmm. Neither guy really could do very much. It was a struggle for them to move the ball consistently, against Dan and his defense and Matt and his defense. Those are 2 pretty good defensive coaches, defensive systems against young quarterbacks. I think that's about what you would expect to see.
Okay. How about the Bo Nix seemingly, huh?
Yeah.
Bo and Sean got it going now. It's the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
So it's Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough down there. Hey, shout out to Tepper and all the musicians and Caleb and Marty raised $24.5 million for Western North Carolina. And Tepper provided and donated the stadium and every vendor and everything like that. So shout out to Tep giving back to North Carolina. Shout out to Tep giving back to North Carolina. That's very cool. Obviously, you would hope people in his position would do this type of thing. Not everybody does. He chose to. That's amazing. That's good. Hey, that's good. Hopefully that's good, karma.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's good universe for their football team because they stink. But on the flip side, Denver Broncos and Bo Nix seemingly got it going. Do you believe in Sean Payton and what they're going in Denver?
Well, yeah, and look, one of the best things they're doing in Denver is their defense. I mean, they're really good on defense. I think that Coach Joseph's done a great job there. They have a nice pressure scheme. Their front's playing very well. They got Surtain back, it looks like. And then, if they don't turn the ball over, they're going to be in every game. But, Allen's playing well. They've got depth on the defensive line. This is a good-looking defense. And Carolina game aside, which, I mean, that is what it is. But, this is a good, solid defense. It's played pretty well, all throughout the year. So they communicate well. They don't give up a lot of big plays. They pressure the ball, they take it away, and they're hard. They have good game plans week to week where they mix things up a little bit with their pressure packages. They've done a good job defensively, and as Nix is getting a little more confidence and a little more consistency and familiarity with Coach Payton's system, I mean they're doing a good job. So as I said at the beginning of the year, I don't know if it's going to be enough to catch the Chiefs this year. But it certainly looks like they're gaining in this division.
Young QBs doing their thing. Have you ever seen a quarterback tap out whenever he was healthy? And what do you, Coach? We started for the first 20 minutes talking about this because this is something that obviously as a Colts fan, whenever you're watching AR play football, there's moments of magic like this right there. Ooh, that's a moment of magic. In an AFC South to take the lead in the division game, massive game down there in Houston, every single year it counts. After a huge run to get back to the gain of zero, obviously, shedding a guy, tapping out. It's a quarterback doing that. And he would come out after the game and say it was because he was tired. So, piling on this entire thing about never seen that before. Okay. What do you think of the quarterback position, though, and why do you think we all think it's such a big deal that a quarterback decided to do that? What is the role of a quarterback whenever they're representing a team? Because for me, the reason why I'm reacting the way I am, D-Bud is reacting the way he is, everybody on TV, it's like quarterback doesn't tap out. Like that is just not how it goes, especially if it's because you're just tired. It's week 8. You're 22 years old. Let's not be tired either. But it's like, what do you think the role of a quarterback is, and why do you think everybody is so dumbfounded by this particular happening, Coach?
Well, I think on some teams, and I haven't been a part of too many of these teams, but I have had this conversation with quarterbacks. A lot of times, and as you know, Pat and AJ, as you know, like the quarterbacks don't always do everything that everybody else does, right? They don't necessarily do all the lifting or squatting or conditioning or things like that. And so I've seen situations where quarterbacks, after running around for, 2 or 3 plays, in a row, getting chased around on scrambles and things like that, that they are a little winded. And you look back on it and say, well, they weren't doing the sprints with the rest of the team. Maybe they were throwing to the receivers, or they didn't lift with the rest of the team, because they don't lift, and that type of thing. And sometimes with the specialists, Pat, you've probably seen that too with some of the specialists.
Hell yeah.
But I know with guys like Brady and Burt Jones and Testaverde and some of those guys like that I've coached, those guys, and look, I'll say this about Bernie Kosar. Bernie Kosar was slow, okay? But Bernie Kosar never failed a conditioning test. And that was about work. It wasn't about speed. It was about work. And he always passed it. Brady always passed it. Brady's not fast either, but he worked. Testaverde worked. Matt Castle worked. Like, those guys really worked hard, and they were about as good as they could be. And so conditioning was never an issue with those guys because they ran the hill after practice with everybody else. They lifted with everybody else. Same thing with the specialists. Same thing with, the other skill players like that. And so I do think that there's a mentality about the quarterbacks that, you need to be maybe not the best conditioned player on the team, but, honestly, you should be in really good condition as a quarterback, just as a leader. And, I got into a situation with a couple of my, ex-quarterbacks and about what they thought conditioning should be, what I thought conditioning should be. and that was that was a head-on collision. But I've been fortunate with a lot of these guys that they really take conditioning as seriously as they do, in spite of the fact that, you hear quarterbacks say, well, if I ever have to run a 40, we're in a lot of trouble. Well, that may be true, but nevertheless, you just can't stand back there a whole game, every game. There's going to be times when you do have to run and do have to, move around a little bit, and the better you can do it, then the more you're going to help the team. And it comes with strength too, whether that's on quarterback sneaks or, trying to pick up an extra yard in a 4th and 1 situation when you really need it. I mean, in the end, like that stuff, everything counts. Everything counts. It's not just, the last play. It's everything along the way. And so, again, I don't know what it was with Richardson or not. I can't comment on that, but I can tell you the guys that I've coached, they all recognize the importance of it, and they did it. And, that was good. I mean, Zappe, after his rookie year, he lost about 10 pounds, 12 pounds, whatever it was, and kind of changed his body around, and he improved his conditioning a lot. Again, I'm not saying that these guys are Olympians, but you get to the best position you can be, and best athletic ability you can be for that position, and that helps you.
Isn't it crazy, though, that you never see the quarterback position tap out? That's a big part of it, don't you think? Like leading a team, being elite. You talk about the conditioning and not just, watching everybody else run while you don't do anything, and what message that sends to your team. But a quarterback is just kind of expected to just be out there if they can't. That's just kind of an expectation. I think that's why it was so jarring, just to be like, yeah, bring in the 6 man. As if you're playing another position or sport, almost, it felt like he was doing. It's like so jarring. I don't even know how to respond. I don't know how to react. He would go back in the game, lead a touchdown drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
almost win.
Breather.
I don't think C.J. Stroud is tapping out when he's winded. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is tapping out whenever he's winded. I don't think Jared Goff is going to be tapping out whenever he's winded.
Nope.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to be doing it. Lamar Jackson's going to be doing it. I don't think Russell Wilson's ever going to tap out.
Josh Allen.
I don't think Josh Allen's going to tap out. That's my thing, Bill. I don't know if quarterbacks even know they're allowed to do that. I don't even.
Right.
He's going to get back. He's going to learn from it. He's young. He's 22. Why are you tired when you're 22? You should be able to run. I mean, it's a never ending. Let's talk about a team that is phenomenal and even finds ways to win when Goff doesn't go bananas. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Coach, how do you feel about the Lions? Obviously, similar to the Denver situation, they're playing the Panthers and the Lions are playing the Titans. But when a team that is supposed to win just completely obliterates the other team, what do you think that says about both the culture of MCDC and how the players believe in what they're doing? And do you think they're the most complete team in the entire NFL when you look at both the NFC and AFC?
Well, we're going to find out going through that NFC North. There'll be some really competitive games there, and we'll see how all that, that's 6 games in that division. So we'll see how it goes. But sometimes things just go right for you, and you have those big wins, and not taking anything away from the Lions because I think they're playing really well. I like their toughness, and I think that when you look at the records of the teams the week after they've played the Lions, that hasn't been very good, and I think that the Lions' physicality takes a toll on some of their opponents, not just in the game they played, but in the coming weeks. But offensively, it starts with the offensive line. I think they have 3 of the best offensive linemen in the league, and the tackles and the center. Penei Sewell's fantastic, and so that really helps the running game. It helps the passing game, and then they have some very explosive players as well, and obviously are playing well on defense. Hutchinson's a big loss. We'll see how that affects them going forward, but they can score a lot of points, and in the end, though, I think that it's going to come down to their defense, and I've been there before where you can score a lot of points, but sometimes you run into really good teams at the end of the season and you can't hang up 45 points. And then you've got to play defense and you might have to win 17-14. And so I think, if I was Detroit, keep grinding, keep working to improve the things that they're going to need, in the end. It's not always going to be this easy, but give them credit. They did a great job yesterday of, like you said, just, wiping out an opponent that they should beat. And they were ready to go. And Coach Campbell had them ready to go, and they were hitting on all cylinders. And had 200 yards offense and 50-some points, so that's pretty impressive.
I'd say 3 massive returns, too. Leaf gets a game ball, celebrates afterwards. It was, I love everything they're doing up there in Detroit, even those Applebee's commercials.
Yeah.
I think Applebee's commercials are even good. I saw Kid and Eminem, too. Kid Rock and Eminem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob.
I think
Kid,
Bob, and Eminem and Marshall.
Bring the world together.
I believe all kind of guys. That's
World
good.
peace.
Detroit's a good spot. All right, let's look at tonight. D-Butch has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, what's your expectation for both of these offenses tonight? Obviously, we saw Russ getting there last week, had a pretty good second half, a lot of multiple tight end sets, and then Daniel Jones probably playing for his job tonight and going forward. What's your expectations for these offenses and the defenses going into tonight?
Well, I think the Giants have a great defensive line. They gave up some yards on the edge last week, running away from Dexter Lawrence and those guys. But Lawrence is a force. I think he's honestly, this guy might be the MVP in the league defensively. He's just having a tremendous year. Yeah. Giants don't have an interception. The only one they have is the one that he batted up in the air and caused. So he's just been a force, and they've given up some yards on the edge last week. But I think that's, it's one of the best defensive lines in the league, and they should keep him in every game. Be good if they could pick a pass or two off somewhere along the line. Offensively, I think this is a tough matchup for the Giants' offensive line. Steelers' defensive line front is really good. Highsmith and Watt on the edge, Hayward inside. I mean, they're tough to handle. Giants have a major question at left tackle and at right tackle with Watt. So I think that the Steelers will try to dominate the line. Look, I think Jones is hanging in there. I don't think he's playing for his job at all. I think he's their quarterback. He's their best quarterback. And if he could just get a little bit of time and get the ball to Slayton and Neighbors, the running game has gotten a little bit better here with, the mixture of both backs, with Tracy and with Singletary. So that's been an upgrade. And, Coach Dable is a good game plan coach.
Tomlin.
Tomlin, of course, is going to create a lot of problems, but Arthur Smith is going to do a good job protecting the offense. It's going to be stretches and boots. And, I mean, the biggest thing I always felt like playing Russell Wilson was you cannot get the ball thrown over your head. The scrambles are a little bit of an issue. Sure, he can run and all that, but he kills you on those deep balls. And, he can throw those 60 and 70 yarders, 50 yarders, and just drop them in where you're all over the guy, and he still finds space to get the ball in there. So, I think the Giants got to do a good job of not giving up any big plays, and then try to create some third downs in the drives where they can get off the field and get the ball to Neighbors and Slayton, get it out quick, and try not to deal too much with Pittsburgh's defensive line, or keep a lot of guys in and block them and give Neighbors and Slayton a chance to get the ball down the field.
Hell yeah, Coach. We'll watch you on Manningcast, and we'll be back tomorrow. Cheers. All right, we're still live on the internet. We just went off of ESPN Linear. Phenomenal breakdown of the game tonight. Excited to watch you on the Manningcast there early. This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh's going to be wild. Pittsburgh's going to be wild, I think, tonight. And it should be great environment if the Steelers continue to win.
Look out.
Mama.
Top of the table.
Look out. Hey, Coach, we appreciate the hell out of your time today, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, Pat. I'm starting to get this, figuring out this podcast thing, the filming and all that. So it's just in time for our midseason all Belichick team. So we'll be putting that out this week, midseason. Matt Patricia, Mike Lombardi, and I putting out the all Belichick team, which will include, I know you'll be excited about this, but this will include a full special teams unit. Not just the punter, not just the kickoff returner, but the interior guys, the cover guys, as well as the specialists. So check it out this week. We'll be out on Thursday morning.
Okay, we cannot wait for that. Wow. Could you imagine being named to the first ever all Belichick team?
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Mid-season. Mid-season.
Yeah, but it's the first one, though.
Don't matter.
It's the first one. It matters. Are you going to say that? This is the first ever all Belichick team. It's a mid-season one. If you finish the year like shit, it doesn't matter. But this is the all Belichick.
It matters.
It does. I agree. This is a big deal. People are going to take this very, I'd be super pumped if I was named to the all Belichick team.
Print it
all
out.
Belichick punter?
I don't know if, and also.
So are you doing Coach?
Well, you're on my all opponent. You're on my all opponent.
Oh yeah,
that's great news. But let's not talk about it. Let's talk about Thursday morning. Coach, the podcast with Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, Michael Lombardi, the all Belichick team. Go ahead, AJ. You're about to ask about the process.
So are you going to name like the left guard in punt protection? Are you going to go that far where you're naming full teams like that?
I'll take the 6 interior guys. Yeah, because everybody. to be a top special team player, you have to be able to play on the punt team. So I'm not going to have a punt team, a kickoff return team, but everybody will have a role on the punt team, and then I would use those players on the return teams or on the kickoff coverage team. And then, obviously the punt returner, kickoff returner, and the specialist and all that. But, there are some players that obviously, as you know, might be better on the kickoff team than the punt team. But if they are really good special team players and they're productive interior players, then I'm going to find a spot for them. I need a PP. I need two good gunners out there. Those guys would also be the vice players on the punt return. I need a good returner. So I'm just saying it's not just about, who makes stats and everybody else's team. This team is the guys that I would put out there.
This is a real deal.
Guys I would put out there.
Hey, I want to let you know, we, and I assume many others in the sports media world, are going to be like, this fucker's a good player.
Yeah.
He's on the old Belichick team. He's on the old Belichick team. You don't just walk your way onto that. We appreciate you, Coach. We can't wait for it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good to see you guys. All right.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, fellas.
The GOAT, Bill Belichick. Thank you.
Yeah, Bill.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll make our picks. We'll also talk about the games that we haven't got a chance to dive into yet. Big ones.
Big.
A lot of things happened yesterday.
A lot of stuff.
Kirk Cousins walked into the trap and took over the trap.
Yes, he did.
They fight no cap.
There's 100,000 people watching right now. You guys should not be doing that. That's for Bill Belichick. He will not be in the next hour. Okay, know that. Speaking of 100,000 people, did you see that Texas A&M had 108,000?
Yeah.
And it was their third largest attendance. And I had a bunch of Michigan people that were like, that would be a bad day for us. It's like your stadium, Michigan Stadium, and Texas A&M Stadium built a little bit different.
Much different.
A little bit different. They released on social media the Texas A&M entrance, and Mike Elko's walking down.
Incredible.
I got the chills, man. I got the chills. And I'm like, I couldn't even imagine Elko's heart rate there as he's leading that team. And then obviously the boys are like bouncing next to him. 108,000 people losing their mind. LSU, I thought LSU was going to go in there and win because Texas A&M wasn't able to play really good offense. Defense, great. Mike Elko is going to be good. Since their loss, they've been doing it, but offensively they put Marcel Reed in.
Man.
He is electrifying.
Fast as shit.
And Mike Elko, obviously, with Riley Leonard at Duke, what he was able to accomplish because Riley Leonard's good with his feet. It's like this Reed kid, he's very talented.
Yeah.
That is a home field advantage.
Without a doubt.
And LSU, obviously, insane. I've heard Death Valley is the real deal. But you couldn't, at some point, you got to be a human walking into this shit. Just like, all right, we got to come in here and we got to take this. Yeah, right. And then after the game, Mike Elko goes on a full speech about how we're doing things the right way here. Our team's tight. Our team connected. We play hard. This isn't just a politician up here talking fast and selling things. If you're a good player and want to get better, we are a good program. And it's like Mike Elko has proved that everywhere he's been. What a weapon that stadium is.
Oh, my God.
And also the lighting they had in the tunnel, everything.
Yeah. Recruiting. Can you imagine being a high school kid and watching this and being like, oh, yeah, like I want to do that next year. That looks fucking awesome.
Like wrestling entrances are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania entrances are awesome. Obviously, it's crazy. That felt like that as we were watching it. And the great work by the social media team, getting the 3 different shots with the feel. It's
These colleges are very good at all that.
Yeah.
not all of them. 108,000.
What do you mean?
108,000 was the third largest. It's like college football is spectacular.
Yeah. Alive.
Tonight should be a real deal.
So pumped.
Yeah, what's that entrance going to be like? They're going to
Defense.
even better than last time?
It's TJ Watt.
Yeah.
It'll be TJ Watt tonight, which means it'll be...
Probably.
I figured Russ would still get an intro.
He
like
will.
defense plus Russ.
He will.
Well, actually, aren't the Steelers different? Tomlin makes the decision.
Yeah, he decides every game.
It's not like they alternate.
No.
It's like Tomlin decides what it is each week, right? I think we learned that last year.
Yep. Because who did we want to know who was coming out? I can't remember.
I forget
I
who
thought
was.
it was TJ. We wanted to know if TJ was coming out.
Yeah, because when TJ comes out, it is...
I do remember.
It's like a Ray Lewis type reaction.
When we went to the game in Pittsburgh and they were playing Buffalo, the defense had been the week before, and we were jacked up because we thought, hey, Duck Hodges is going to.
Yeah, that was
And then it was the defense again.
Yeah, Tomlin goes, we got TJ Watt or we got, Duck, quack, quack, quack. Good luck. But TJ's about to come out here, and not only is he the best in the world at what he does, these people really fucking like him.
Yeah.
So when he comes out tonight, that is going to be...
It's Color Rush night, too. It's good night.
Oh. Hey, that's 30% luck, 20% skill. TJ Watt football, power and will.
That's right.
Dude, they got it out there. I can't wait. Tonight should be awesome. All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take Bye.
Bye.
Ryu, did you know you would be good in front office? Did you know that this was going to be something you would succeed at?
I didn't know I'd be good at it. I didn't even know I'd be doing it. It's an interesting story as to how I ended up here. I asked myself that often. Way back when I was a kid, I did love like the NFL draft. My dad used to pull me out of school. Out of half day, he'd come pick me up at lunch. We'd go watch the draft. So I loved that. Throughout my career, I'd pissed my wife off by not only watching round 1 through 3, but then watching round 7. And I'm filling out sheets. And I think the thing that probably piqued my interest, I was living in Denver after I got done playing there. I'd become friendly with Elway. We played some golf together and he looked out for me. We had the same high school coach. We went to Stanford, played football, baseball, same fraternity. That was like the poster on my wall. But Elway took the leap at the Broncos. And in his first year, he said, Johnny, you know, I'm keeping a lot of the scouts, but I don't know them. I love the way you think about football. Could you watch the safeties this year and write some reports? And so I did that for him. Remember, it was the year of like Mark Barron and Harrison Smith. And I took a lot of pride in. I had no idea how scouts did things, but I just watched it like I would watch film, and I sat there at the computer and wrote some reports, and Elway was blown away with like the detail. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. The next year he says, that was awesome, Johnny, why don't you do the DBs? So I did the entire DBs. I added the corners. The next year he invites me in for their draft process. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of time. I went to Indy. I went to the combine with the Broncos that year. So that started piquing my interest. Long after that, there was a guy who ended up bidding for the Carolina Panthers, and he didn't get the team. Tepper got it, but there was another gentleman by the name of Ben Navarro, and I worked with his brother at Fox, and he one time asked if he could meet with me, and out of the blue asked me if I would run his team if he got the Panthers. And I said, really? Are you serious? And he asked me to kind of put together a vision statement for how I would run a team, and so I spent a couple weeks doing that. I met with him, and from that point forward, I kind of just said, if the right scenario ever came about, this might be something I want to do. I was missing like competition. I was missing scoreboard. I was missing the wins, the losses, all of that. Out of nowhere, something was keeping me up at night one year. I didn't even know what it was, and my wife said, something's on your mind. I know you when you're acting like this. You can't sleep. And I had done a bunch of Falcon games that year, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. It's the year they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I heard something like Kyle Shanahan's going to get this Niners job, and that's the one he wants. But somebody said he's struggling to find a GM he wants to work with, and so something was on my mind. I had done a bunch of Kyle's games that year, and I gave him a cold call, and I just said, hey, dude, I want to thank you for all the time you've given me all year in these production meetings. I heard something that you're struggling to find a GM. And he goes, I am, man, it's killing me. I think I am going to take that Niners job. And he goes, why are you asking? And I said, well, consider me. I don't even know if I do it, but just think about that and see what you think. And his first question, he's like, dude, why would you do that? You got a great job. You got a great life. Like, why would you even consider doing that? I said, you go play your games. He did. He called back and he said, man, I can't stop thinking about what you said to me. Would you do that? And I want you to come meet this dude named Jed. Well, that dude named Jed was our owner here, Jed York. Came and met Jed. We flew cross country to Atlanta. I was offered the job on that flight. We meet with Kyle and the whole thing's wrapped up. I hadn't even talked to my wife or family yet. It all moved kind of fast, and here we are 8 years later. So sorry for the long story.
No.
No.
I'm hoping we get 3 or 4 more of those. That was phenomenal. Hey, thank you for blessing us with that information. And also, shout out to you being somebody taking initiative and being like, you know what? Yeah, this is something I want. And diving right in and being prepared and knowing that you're prepared.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings,
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who is my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not one we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Daniel Russo.
Wax on! Wax off. Knee to the face. Yes.
Serious.
Go.
Yes.
Go. Yes.
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I know they figured it out. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life cut against that ball. Oklahoma State is the winner here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Alvin and Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that right there.
No, don't do that. No. Leave. Coach. No.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, this kid.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen. I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go,
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little.
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me.
It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over and
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer
know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
Hey,
Why?
let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line.
all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our spooky humble abode on this massive Overreaction Monday, October 28th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! Hey, it's awesome. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. How's basketball going?
Basketball's going great. Celtics still the best team in the league. Halliburton is coming on here. A big one tonight. But
they're calling him Hal the Big Shot, I heard.
Yeah, he hit a massive shot. Off balance. It was fantastic. Send the game to overtime last night.
Yeah, okay. And then
home opener.
Okay, thank you, Tyrese, for doing that.
Yep.
Made it overtime.
Thank you, Tyrese.
LeBron's still doing it.
Really?
Yeah. 30-point triple-double over the weekend.
Really?
Yeah,
Did I see him chewing someone out this weekend?
Yeah,
Rui.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
There's a great clip of him on the bench, and it was from NBA TV, because on NBA TV, when you watch, when they go to like commercial break on the regular broadcast, it just goes to like the hard cam in the arena or whatever, and you could just hear him saying like, "Swing the ball, motherfucker." It was awesome.
I made 10 shots in a row.
Yeah. Swing, motherfucker.
He said, like,
contested 2?
Yeah.
He said, I've made like 10 shots in a row, and you're going to hit a pull-up contested 2?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love everything about that.
That's awesome.
I was like that NBA TV said, we're not selling ads.
No.
Run the feed.
Yeah.
Run the feed. Do we have commercials? What's everybody else doing? Commercials? Nah.
No.
Run the feed.
Show the stadium.
And I like that LeBron's like, are you not aware of the situation currently happening with the team that you were on?
Yeah, here it is.
I'm LeBron James.
Swing, motherfucker. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Okay, basketball's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Pacers are great.
Pacers are not great. Actually, it's really
struggling
really
struggling.
Did they win in overtime?
For the Pacers right now. If they don't win tonight, there's a chance we're looking at 0-5 heading into the
0-5? What are you talking about, 0-5? I thought last night we'd make a big shot, we'd go to overtime.
Didn't they win against the Pistons?
Didn't they beat the Pistons?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
They
Tyrese
shouldn't
did the
have.
boom?
Yeah, he did do the boom.
Yeah.
He had a big 3 there.
Yeah, he did the boom.
Tyrese Howell, a big shot, I guess, hitting big shots. Last night we didn't win.
Forgot we're counting wins against the Pistons this year.
They're the Panthers still?
Yeah, I thought those just
We shouldn't count them. We should not count those wins. I mean, they were beating the Celtics the whole game, and Connor texted me, and I knew it was going to happen, and they still lost. It was unbelievable.
All right, well, so basketball's happening. Hockey happening, Nick? How's hockey going? I heard the Pittsburgh Penguins in a great spot at a Halloween party this weekend.
Yeah, they're in a spot that it might be considered great to some people, probably not to a majority of people. But, the Florida Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champions, they're still rolling.
Yep,
Barkey's
back.
Not that hot.
Barkey's back. Relax.
Golden Knights.
Captain is back.
Golden Knights are hot.
Blazing.
The Winnipeg Jets are the hottest team in the NHL. They have not lost a game.
Oh, yeah, I saw those photos of the Winnipeg Jets fans and then New York Jets fans. Same team name, very different experiences.
Sure.
Now, aside from one being in America, one being in Canada.
Right.
Which is 2 very different experiences. New York City, New Jersey, Winnipeg, 2 very different experiences.
Yeah.
But also success rate, I guess. They're doing good. New York Jets not doing good. So I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty clever. Pittsburgh Penguins suck? Is that what you were trying to say, pal?
I wouldn't say suck. Certainly not good. Far from great.
How's UHC?
Dominant. How's Go Club go?
Pretty good.
4-4-1, I believe.
They faded a little after a hot start.
9 games in already?
Yeah, I saw it on the ticker, 4-4-1. I said, wow.
It's a
Utah
sports
Hockey
equinox
Club.
today.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything's playing. We got baseball.
Wide.
We got basketball.
Wide.
We got hockey.
Wide.
We got football.
Wide. Yeah.
Lacrosse happening somewhere?
No.
Maybe. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not happening anywhere.
Do we have any lacrosse news? It is Sports Equinox. Obviously, can't wait to watch. All the incredibly high elite performers do their thing. There's some days, off season where we don't have any sports.
Sure.
And there's some days during the fall where like Tuesday happens and the college football game is one that's terrible, so there's no sports.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, the fact that we have all the sports playing and they're all high-level games, I think we should take that into consideration for remembering that, life is good.
Yeah.
Ain't it? Life is good.
That's great.
Pittsburgh Penguins stink. Indianapolis Colts quarterback tapped out.
Fever fired their head coach.
Yeah,
Christy Sides got fired.
Yeah. Pacers stink.
Pacers are going to get better.
Pacers sounds good.
There's a lot of these things that are maybe, as a fan, my happiness level isn't where I'd like it to be.
Oh, something made me happy as a fan this weekend.
What was that? 90 NFL vet Darius J. Butler?
My favorite basketball team, Miami Heat. greatest player of all time, Dwayne Wade.
Shit.
He got his statue.
Finally.
He did.
Revealed outside of the arena. It was.
I heard him on the Today Show. I heard him on the Today Show this morning saying that he hopes eventually that statue becomes a place where people get engaged in front of, or get married in front of, or when a baby's born in Miami, you take the baby to the statue, take a picture. He wants it to be a celebratory place. I think what a lot of people want is it for to look like Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
sure.
Wait, that's it? That's the statue?
That's Dwayne Wade.
Please don't take your
That's
baby
him.
to that statue.
That's not Dwayne Wade.
That's it.
Dwayne Wade said he hopes that people, wherever they have a kid, they take kid right over statue. Say, let's Miami Heat fan the shit out of this thing.
This is the boogeyman, kid.
Scared the shit out of it.
Yeah, they
This
ain't
is a
doing
terrible
that.
statue, yeah. And they actually had the sculptors do a press conference afterwards, which is never good.
That's how you
With
know.
pool reporters or actual? Oh, they did have to answer.
Yeah, they did have to. At the end of the day, we want to do the best job possible with human hands. Okay, so we got a little fat fingered around the face. So it doesn't look anything like the guy that we made. So what? Sue us. You see how big it is? You see that? That's what we did. And hopefully Dwayne Wade didn't feel as bummed out about how it looked and just remembered the occasion. AJ.
No.
Just remember the occasion.
Wait, so is it staying? Would staying like this for sure?
Well, it can't be head Dwayne Wade. What do you want him to do?
Well,
You could. That'd be kind of a cool little
so
thing.
he's.
Like,
Oh, yeah, because you can put your head in there.
Yeah, I'm the head of the statue guy.
Then you
Good
can
idea.
actually go put your head in the statue, and then you're Dwayne Wade. Then you're a member of Wade County.
This
Yeah.
is your city.
Then you are a Miami Heat member. So maybe they do just slice the fucking head off. Maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the move.
Not a bad idea.
It might make it better, AJ. Might make it better.
Wait, did they ask the sculptors like, hey, who is that?
Well,
I think so.
he did say that in his speech. D. Wade said, like, who is that guy? But there are now also photos of him going, like, to these sculptors while they were in the process of doing it. And it looked like him when D. Wade went. So I don't know if, like, they added the beard.
Oh, a little sauce.
Yeah, like, I don't know if they – because I don't remember D. Wade playing with a full beard during his time at Miami D, but you could probably
Yeah, he had times, but
That doesn't look like him.
There's
either.
something that doesn't.
but like he checked it out. So I don't know.
I mean, what do they expect? The sculptor looks like a fucking wax figure from Madame Tussauds. Look at his head. He got a wax head on his
I
shoulders.
thought that was Spolstra.
No.
No, that's not Spolstra.
When's the last good one? Like good trophy
Let's
or
see here.
statue?
There was one-
revealed
Wait, when he's
that-
saying with human hands, though, does he mean like, hey, we didn't want to have this 3D printed like other places that want it to look accurate?
Nah,
or what?
he's actually thumbing that thing.
Yeah.
He's thumbing it. They're using a little flame, softening it up. He's
Yep.
thumbing it. He's kind of fingering his eye socket a little bit.
What
He's
else has he
shaping
done?
the beard.
I need to see his resume. We need to see what else he has
Cristiano.
done for
Kobe,
them
I
to
think?
hire him.
Yeah.
I think he
they
did
so.
Kobe.
That
The
was
same
a good
guy?
one.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
I think they've
that's
done
a great one. That's
Beckham
really good.
had a good one too because they did the whole prank thing on him, and then his actual
Oh, yeah.
statue, I believe Beckham's
Yeah.
was good.
Peyton's down here really
Great.
good.
Yep.
The Hall
Looks
of Fame
like
busts are normally good.
What's that?
The Hall of Fame
Yeah.
busts are normally
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think Freeney had a good one. There was one. Dion's was crap, right?
But they're normally
I
good.
saw Ed Reed's this morning. His was really good, like spot on.
Yeah, Ed Reed's is unbelievable.
I think it's a lot of time.
Yes, I would assume.
Like sitting there. I think the Hall of Fame one is a lot of.
Is it because he's yelling? Does it make it tougher the fact that he has his mouth open and he's yelling? Is that why?
Well, and people aren't getting statues if they're not emotional about something. So figure it out. August.
And to your
Wait, but
point-
why'd the sculptor do an interview? I've never seen that. Did
Because
they do it
everybody
because of
said-
all the backlash?
Yes, he was there. They were there to celebrate, I assume. But then they're like, you know
Oh,
what?
no.
Fuck, I guess we'll face the music.
Yeah.
To
This
your
looks like
point-
shit. You have to go answer questions now.
like with the time thing of it, you got to take into account, like, was this guy even a Heat fan? Because if he's not a Heat fan, then there's no chance he's putting in as much work as he would.
You think
if
Celtics fan, baby?
No, Celtics, sure. Or Orlando Magic, different interstate rivalry.
Sure.
The statue thing is very cool though, because forever you'll be remembered until it's taken down.
Yeah.
Which has happened with statues as of late.
All over the world.
All over the place. They actually like old school lasso those things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they just pull them on down.
Throw 'em in the river.
Every once in a while they get dragged through like they're the field goal uprights of a college place that just had a big upset.
Yeah.
Suck it, Saddam.
Really, yeah. It usually happen to shitty people.
Normally.
Oh yeah.
Usually.
You get a
Well,
statue.
we only make statues of athletes now. Like they don't make statues of other people anymore.
You think it's because they're like, we're not wasting the metal. We don't know what is going to
That's
happen.
what it's because we've
We don't
discovered.
know. We don't know what's
discovered
gonna-
all
Take care of the earth.
We've discovered all the lands.
Well, they made a sick MLK statue in Boston. You guys remember that one with the arms?
Oh my God.
They're
that was
hugging each
terrible.
other?
I don't remember.
No.
Right next to that
hated
slide
it.
that people were getting shot down.
No, they closed that.
What's the
thing.
statue down here? It's just legs. Downtown
Yeah,
Indianapolis.
it's John Wooden just looking up at dongs, and he's on his knees, and there's just legs.
It's just
all around
legs.
him.
That was a weird one.
I'm about to go see that one.
It's right in the
I haven't seen
middle,
that.
right in the middle of downtown. John Wooden is on a knee, and then it's just legs, like a team. He's talking to a team, obviously, but they cut off everybody at the waist, the players.
Yeah.
Must be when he was coaching Lou Alcindor because they didn't want to make like a 7-11, you know. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's a tall guy. We just got to do waist up.
Yeah, here he is.
Oh, okay.
His thighs in the guy, you know.
I mean, it's kind of cool. It's artsy. It's art.
Yeah, it is. It's
definitely
really
art.
It's good stat. I think
Who's
you
he
could have done
talking to?
just him on a knee, though. I don't think you need the legs. We understand he's in a
Definitely
huddle.
didn't need the legs.
He's a coach. He's in a huddle guy.
I mean, I guess he's not. It's a good thing he didn't, turn 90 degrees or so, because I guess he's facing out. That's good.
AJ, yeah, of course it's good that it doesn't look like he is
sucking bean. Is that
what you're
But
saying?
I'm saying in the initial drawings, maybe they had it like that. Like, hey, I don't think this will look great if we do it like that.
I wonder if it was the same two guys that did Dwayne Wade. And with Dwayne Wade, they decided to add a beard. With this one, they decided to straighten the head up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's. You don't think maybe they wanted to see what his face was there in the statue ever? You think that they wanted that?
He's coaching. It's a moment of like coaching. He's in the huddle, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of awkward with just the legs and where they're cut off and everything.
Yeah, you should have seen my face first time I seen it. What do we?
I
what do
think
we have here?
they're not wearing shorts either. They're naked.
No, shorts back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure?
Shorts back in the day. Yeah, man.
You're right.
A lot
Put
of
some
time.
shorts
back.
on.
That
What do we
could be
do?
the locker room.
He's wearing a suit. Why aren't they wearing shorts?
Because they're wearing the shorts back in the day. Go back to that era, brother. Those things,
Well,
nuts
the
were
guy,
hanging.
if you look over his right shoulder, I don't think there's any room for shorts on that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, that's how tight it was. You know, not a lot of ballroom on those shorts back in the day. Yeah, everything's cyclical. Wait till they bring those back. Guys wearing bikini bottoms, pretty much, as shorts.
Almost did.
Then high socks, the whole thing.
I like that look.
What's that? Bikini bottom?
I mean, when you see
you like
guys-
cheeks out on, dude?
No, but when you see a basketball player, because there have been a few of recent memory that have played college basketball, and when they have the halfway up thigh
shorts.
you know they're smacking the wood. And I'm talking about the floor, the defensive floor.
Yeah, you might be smacking Airwood too. You know, with the way that whole thing was
Bingo.
going right
I was
there.
gonna say, you think Greg Oden can squeeze into those short shorts? People are gonna be hand checking his dick all day long.
Hey, yo.
That thing's gonna be so beat up by the end of the night. No way.
Swiping at the
So
ball.
beat up.
Yeah, welts all over it from guys trying to get in there. And
Welts.
Yeah. The
Taco fall.
The pet of his penis would be sticking out the bottom of us. Yeah.
They wore that. Look back. I think you guys are
did.
historically inaccurate right
no,
now.
they did. They did wear. I'm just saying.
All right, let's.
Dinghies were smaller back then.
We need to. I think so.
They were.
Had to be.
That's what they say.
Had to be.
Science.
I don't understand science how it wouldn't be the case. I see some photos back in the day. Like, wow, how'd you wear that day to day? It had to be so much chafing, dude, let alone balls out.
Yeah.
The chafing, how do you get around
A
anyway?
lot of tape.
Yeah, you think you're taping it up?
I don't know.
Throw it over your shoulder like a con air
I
soldier.
think they were taping it under.
I'm saying tape and Gucci's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
It's a tough gig for
I
the
wasn't there.
trainer. Gee.
More aerodynamic.
Tough gig for the trainers. You don't think they're taping themselves?
I hope. You're right. I hope they are. Yep. I hope they're doing themselves. You're right.
I think this is different than
This is
the
your
ankle
locker room,
taping.
dude.
Yeah.
I think there's a built-in.
Well, I
pocket
spat
to
in my own
shorts.
cleats. I thought it was the same thing. Like I spat in my shoes for every practice. For games, I'd have the trainers do it. But maybe that's the same thing with these guys. For practice, they tape. Games, hey, trainer, tape me up.
Yeah, I don't know if they're walking in on game day saying, "Hey, I need you to put this thing to my spine."
No, they don't walk in. The trainer walks in, and they're just like, "All right, boys, time to tape dogs."
Maybe. I mean, those are short shorts.
Yeah,
those are short shorts back there. Let's talk about an NFL story that we have not chatted about.
Pause. That whole segment.
We are just
Put a
wondering.
ball in
Yeah,
it.
where were
We
you,
weren't
D-Boy?
there.
Where were you? Play basketball? You tell us.
We weren't there. So we don't know. We don't know how it works. Somebody can maybe
Just asking
explain to us.
questions.
Yeah,
And we need somebody that actually knows, not most of you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
we
most.
have an idea.
Let's get back to the NFL, shall we? Good call. All right.
Reset.
Seattle Seahawks fan base, 12th man or whatever, it's not real anymore. Did you hear about this?
Sorry, what?
No. What happened?
It's not real. Buffalo Bills Mafia, long flight over there, infiltrated the stadium.
No.
Geno Smith said it felt like an away game in Seattle.
Yikes.
In Seattle, Seattle is the home field advantage place. That's literally what it is. Have you played Seattle yet? Whoa, tough place to play. Loudest place to play. Those Seahawks fans are insane. 12th man, boy, they win games for you. That is literally what it's built to be like. Allegedly, Geno Smith said Bills Mafia made it feel like they were playing an away game, and the Buffalo Bills stomped the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not used to this happening with the Seattle Seahawks, but that is and Keon Coleman is finding his way, obviously. Yeah. Not only this play was made, there was a couple out in the field he made where it's like, okay, Keon Coleman, real deal. This is a dude, and I think every time he speaks, it's awesome, and I think his teammates love him. Keon Coleman seemingly a home run for the Buffalo Bills, but going into Seattle, getting that big of a win, and then hearing about Bills Mafia infiltrating the Seattle Seahawks, it's like, AJ, that's not normal at all. It's not normal times.
I remember practicing before playing Seattle how nervous our coaches were and how like the loud, crazy crowd noise they would play, even for like our walkthrough for our offense. Like they were so worried about our offense and, hey, we're going to have to go on silent. You're not going to be able to hear anything. I think a lot of guys, some O-linemen wore earplugs even playing in Seattle. So I guess it's not the case anymore, huh?
Yeah, what's the deal, D-Butch? You think they've given up hope over there in Seattle? Or?
I hope not. We started off this season. Seattle started off hot, like 3-0, I think, and now sitting at 4-4. So I would hope not. We, like you guys said, we talked about Seattle. I think Chiefs, Saints, Steelers, like those were huge home field advantages. So now for a team like Buffalo coming all the way from the other side of the country, infiltrating, not a good look for the.
I don't like
it either. The 12th? 12?
The 12s.
The 12th, man.
12s. There we go. Okay.
No, the 12s. Because remember, they got sued, I think, from Texas A&M for being the 12th man.
It hasn't been the same for a minute, to be honest.
What do you mean?
These ain't the Legion of Boom days anymore. Pete Carroll's gone. The old firm. They took down the shit this offseason. This ain't the same Seahawks.
Same stadium, though, so hopefully they don't ever lose that. The Pacific Northwestern fans of any sport are normally loud and very loyal and passionate. But to your point, I guess this is a brand new team. They forced Pete Carroll out, right?
Uh-huh.
That is what happened?
Yeah, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere, AJ.
He didn't want to leave.
We were just talking. Boom, Pete Carroll has been... and the Seattle Seahawks have separated or parted ways or whatever it was worded, and then it continued to come out. Pete Carroll was doing interviews. He was like, I went in there and I pitched. I thought I had a future answer.
I competed hard. He said, I competed hard for the job.
For my job.
And so it comes out, okay, they forced him out. Then they talked about painting over the walls. You got a new head coach. Obviously, he comes over from the Ravens, defensive mindset. It's like, man, the Bills are a great football team, but if we're going to lose the Seattle Seahawks, I hope not. That was something that I think the NFL was very proud of.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody was very proud of how loud that place was. Because you talk about college football games with how many fans are there, 100-some thousand, going crazy. That's who we would face against the hooligans, the soccer fans. And you guys are what, 30, 40,000? How big are those soccer stadiums?
Some of them, I think Liverpool's up to 70,000. They keep growing them bigger and bigger.
A majority of them, though, 40, 50,000, right?
Yeah,
I think.
The smaller fields, they have the fans on top of you. It's 15, 20,000.
But they're all bananas. They are
insane.
Great atmospheres. Obviously, everybody loves it. It's college football is our representative for hey, these fans are bananas and everything. In the NFL is the Seattle Seahawks fans are the representative. Now, Bills Mafia also.
Yeah,
not going to sneeze at, obviously. They're incredible. There's other great fan bases, but I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that does not happen up there in Seattle. And I hope maybe I misread a tweet because I don't think the press conference, it's if they're going on silent count at home in Seattle, that's complete opposite of what Seattle's always been in my eyes for the Seattle Seahawks.
Especially with this year, they're not. It's not like they're 1-6 or something like that. They're a game out or tied for the lead in the division. If there's ever a time to show up and be excited about potentially going to the playoffs and win the division, they're still right in the middle of it.
Seattle is beautiful, though. Maybe the Bills fans were just you know what? Let's take a trip.
Yeah.
Let's take a trip to Seattle.
Northwest.
Bills fans were deep at Lumen Field on Sunday, and they were loud. Geno Smith after the game said it kind of felt like we were on the road at times.
Wow. That's never been said there. Has that ever been said in Seattle?
No, that's what I'm saying. I saw this tweet. Now, Michael Sean, not to be confused with Shawn Michaels. Sean Duger, ever. Well, ever. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a Mike Duger. Bills fans were deep at Lumen Field on Sunday. So I saw this. I don't know who Mike Duger is, but I saw other people responding to it. It's that feels like a very different time to be a football fan because Seattle was Remember all the decibels?
Oh, yeah.
So many.
It's like an earthquake.
Okay, let's talk about other decibels. The home of the Chiefs. They play on Monday night, so they're not back in the building until Wednesday, which will be like a Tuesday. I heard Andy Reid say afterwards. They get a huge win over the Raiders. Travis Kelce scores a touchdown. Had a baby, Travis.
Hey.
Welcome to the paint this year. Now, obviously, this is just going to steamroll into them continuing to be dominant. D-Hop makes his debut, makes a couple catches early. I assume they're going to have to work him into the offense a little bit more as he gets more comfortable. But with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, D-Hop now, and there's a couple more injuries, obviously, on the offensive side, being able to get a big win like this, their defense able to play. Is this, the Chiefs team you think that can make history, win 3 straight? AJ, they're the only undefeated team left, and it feels like we haven't seen their best performance yet, nearly.
No, we definitely haven't. I feel like last year we were saying similar things, like, are they going to be able to put on make a run and do this thing like they did before? And yeah, when you're adding D-Hop, he obviously makes some key catches. You get Kelce involved early. And then their defense. I mean, Chris Jones is awesome. I love the dude that move him around. He's inside. He wreaks havoc. And then he's playing D-end, rushing like a pure outside pass rusher. I love what their defense does, man. Like they can absolutely go on a run.
It's crazy to think that this team is the only undefeated team left. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it's the back-to-back national champions or national Super Bowl champions. They could win the national championship if they had to.
World champions.
They are the world champions. Mm-hmm. Noah, we're done with it.
Mm-hmm. Done with it.
Anyways, they nowhere near what they could be, which I guess is great news for the Chiefs. But they just have this ability to win games. Is that what it is? They just have this certain ability to win games. Is this what the Patriots had, D-Bud?
Great. Yeah. Obviously, the Patriots had Tom Brady. You asked Bill, what's the role of the quarterback? If you come out there, you run out that tunnel with a quarterback, you run out there with 15, lead you out. You got a great chance to win that ball game. And just like last year, they were winning a bunch of games because of their defense, because of the run game. Now, Patrick Mahomes had obviously a better game. Of course, Travis Kelce scored on National Tight End Day. We heard that ad nauseum yesterday, but he showed up as we expected.
You sound like Jage.
Yeah. I'm not. Listen, I love it. Look, I saw Greg yesterday. I saw Greg Olsen down in Tampa. He called the game, and that's hats off to those guys for branding that. Other position groups should probably follow suit and try to do it. But tight ends obviously showed up. But Mahomes, anytime you tried out that tunnel with him, you got a chance to win. What is his divisional record? Does he ever lose in his?
So remember, they lost to the Raiders, and the Raiders took a victory lap in the bus around their stadium.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then this training camp, the Raiders had a puppet of Patrick Mahomes, called him a bitch.
Oh yeah.
So I think he does take the division rivalries very seriously. Yeah. I think that is something that Patrick Mahomes knows, and I assume Andy Reid preaches. Obviously, you win your division, you're automatically in. And although they have higher aspirations than that, that's the easiest way into the dance. Go ahead.
Same with Tom.
He is 32-5 against the division.
That's insane.
Pretty good. Pretty solid.
And he beats everybody, but when you just own your division just like Tom did for 2 decades, these guys will be in it right at the end.
Congrats to Chiefs fans.
Enjoy it.
It's fun.
And the other teams feel that too, Pat. The other teams feel like D-Bud said, you walk out of the tunnel with Patrick Mahomes, there's a confidence from everybody, from the coaches to all the players. But I think on the other teams too, especially if the game's close, hey, we cannot give this guy the ball back. We know what he does. And they all feel it coming as well.
Yeah, it's like a mystique almost. And the Patriots had that for so long. Everybody thought it was like Foxborough and shit. Yeah. And it was Foxborough, I guess. That was certainly a part of it because the fans were very good. And I assume they're still good. Yeah. I'm just saying at the time, whenever they were in the middle of their dynastic run, I think it was more so Bill and Tom. I think it was the mystique of your coaches know, that there's a better coach on the other side. Mm-hmm. Players know the best player of all time is on the other side. So going in, you're naturally going to be we have to play so good today. In so many coaches are thinking we can't fuck up any situations today.
No margin for error. We have no margin for error here. We got to play perfect.
We have to play our best ball. We have to handle the adversity. We have to do all this. I think it was in people's, not everybody. Obviously, there's great players that have been able to have success against those teams, yada, yada, yada. But everybody thought it was Foxborough had the mystique or the aura. It's I think that was just Bill and Tom that were in people's heads going into it. Add in the mass holes up there showing up and the weather that it could be. It's that's problematic. And Andy and Patrick are probably doing the same thing to people today.
Those Foxborough days, you just felt, you knew something was going to happen, whether it was a headset, a block punt, the weather, something. And I remember being in New England for those 2 years, The only time we felt that, I guess, inside the building, like that extra tightness about another organization was when you're going to play the Colts. Like when it was like Peyton Manning week, when it was Colts week, like you felt that tightness within within the building, within the rooms. We would do different things defensively, different things on special teams. So other teams, to AJ's point, week in and week out, when you're facing the Chiefs now, used to be the Patriots, but now when you're facing the Chiefs, it's that extra pressure within the building to just not fuck up. And obviously that rarely works out for players or coaches.
Hey, they can expose us this weekend. Let's fucking, all right.
Tighten up.
Hey, you remember that little, you've been calling some things on second, third down. Let's,
Think of you making plays earlier in the year, too. Say you beat, say any team but the
Carolina
Chiefs.
Panthers.
And they say, coach, like, hey, you think that's going to work 3 weeks when we play Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? Like, that's the kind of stuff happens as well.
Yeah, this ain't going to work against the Chiefs.
You want to go under that block? Think you're going to get there? Okay, good luck against the Chiefs, buddy.
Oh, you're talking about in meetings. Showing
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, this will work against Patrick fucking Mahomes. Okay, which is inevitably who we're going to have to run into. Let's go ahead and clean it up. Have you talked about 29 yet? Have you talked about that yet?
Not really, no.
What were your initial? We thought it was a fake video.
I mean, yeah. Hey, I can't believe how long he was talking to the crowd. First off, like you said, they're 40 yards down the field, and he still has his back turned.
He said he was celebrating with Bears fans. He was not talking any shit. He said it was not. It was not a shit talk. It was a celebration with the Bears fans. And Zito has said, if you look at the bottom, Bears fans are telling him to turn around.
They are. That's the
hey,
they snapped the ball.
There's a game.
You can see him pointing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he's right here.
Jeez.
What happens if they knock it down here and they win? Then obviously it's still, what do you say to this guy?
He goes back to that crowd and says, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
And it's cool.
But
Just like I said. And I assume meeting with coaches and Eberflus and your DB coach and everything, they're definitely going to point it out and say, we can't do this. Obviously, we got away with this. You got to pay attention. But it's nowhere near what it is now.
No.
That Murphy's Law happens, and anything that could go wrong for this guy did go wrong after he acted like an asshole while a play was very much developed. And him being the last one to touch it.
And he comes out and says, like, hey, I was supposed to be on Noah Brown.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to jump
I'm
all there.
glad he acknowledged it. I'm glad he's acknowledged it and talking about it. Like I like that part about it.
I agree. I appreciated him apologizing, having some self-awareness. It's like anytime you do that, at least you address the elephant in the room. People aren't going to forget about it, but at least people think that you know that what you did was wrong. It's like, I don't want to, hammer it home, and I hope not anymore.
You just can't all jump at the same time. You gotta,
That's
hammer what?
You gotta, like D-Butt said, man, you have to have a back tip guy, front tip guy. Like that's boxing them out.
Four guys four guys jump. They're playing like jackpot 1,000.
Yeah.
Like in a pool. That is literally what they were playing there, throwing the ball up. And you would think they had practiced, so that's just all MAs at the same exact time, I guess.
And like it does kind of help when you have that one, like if Keyshawn Johnson's back to Randy Moss, whoever it is, Kyle Pitts, whoever that player may be, it does kind of help just mention like, okay, that's clearly a fucking jumper. So my job is to box out, back tip, whatever it is. So when everybody's going up, that's never good. It's been situations where DBs go up and try to get a cheap pick. Everybody looked like they tried. The coaches, bat it down. He obviously batted it up. I mean, just all-time bad. And this is a clear case of, winning cures all because they win this game. Like, we're laughing about this at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at this.
Tyree, what the fuck are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. But you joking about it, you kikiing about it, but now you lose. And now you just feel like the biggest asshole, in the world. So, hopefully he learns from it. Hopefully he makes a big play in the Super Bowl, and we all fucking forget about it. That would be the only play that would erase this one from
playoff game, something huge, pick six. I mean, obviously, and we hope he will go on to do that. Even though I'm sure if I'm a Bears fan, you don't want that to be in a Bears uniform. That's what I saw going around. Is obviously people saying get him out of here, but like all four dudes jumping indicate to me that there's a lot going on over there in Chicago, right? Like
every team is showing their team this play as well, and coaching up how they're going to play the Hail Mary.
I had full faith in Eberflus. Like I was an Eberflus believer, and I think I still am, obviously, because of what the team has shown. But I thought Eberflus's thing was like accountability on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to do things right, yada. That's 4 MAs right there. Well, 3 at least. Well, maybe 4. No, because the one person is supposed to jump.
Yep.
So that's 3 MAs if you just go off of what everybody else has said about this particular play and how you defend it. It's like that's not good either. Let alone the game still happening, talking shit or celebrating with fans while play is happening. most important play. It's like that's a whole nother conversation, but it's also in that particular moment, at least 3 MAs. And maybe the wrong, maybe I don't know.
So they said in the press conference today that 31, that was the guy in the back, was supposed to be the jumper, and then obviously Tyreek was supposed to be boxing out 85 to the savior.
And then the other 2 guys probably in the front, I guess, probably boxing out, man.
McLaurin was like in the front, kind of on the sides. Were all the teams you guys played for rush 3, drop everyone else? Because the other 2 times this year it's happened, like for instance against Houston for the Colts yesterday, they had a Hail Mary at the end of the game and Houston brought 5 or 6 and then they just sacked it.
Yeah, we didn't even get a throw off.
And then Lions against the Vikings when they were up by 2 in that last play snap.
They had a spy too. This team, This team had like a spy. What was he going to do? He was going to run.
He's there to try to. He's there to try to like. There's usually a guy that you don't want to let him crow hop into the throw. So but if you see the spy guy.
Up.
No, he takes off like he's like, all right, Jaden's going to scramble here. I got to go here. When he, like Bill said, he's got to be on the other side and not let Jaden come make this turn and crow hop into it.
No, there he pulled up like right before he threw.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he saw the lineman in front of him. But yeah, like you can't. Yeah, it's hard.
But yeah,
imagine Brown drops that. Oh my
gosh.
Oh my God.
Every
Almost
team
too easy.
Yeah, every team I've been on we played it similar to this. I always was in the mindset of like, hey, let's blitz them, make them throw it as fast as possible. But most of the teams I've been on have played it similar to this. Usually, like Bill said, if it's 2x2, usually all 4 guys are running to the goalpost. If it's 3x1, it's either a jump ball on that side of the field to the right or left. And then you got that one, it's usually like the X receiver, a deep hop, or McLaurin or whoever who will be that one backside. So it's different ways to go about it, obviously offensively and defensively. But when it comes, and you walk through it literally every week, and then the one time it happens, it sucks. But on the flip side, like for the Commanders, for them to win and like execute it exactly how they wanted to. And then that sideline, like the videos they had of Dan Quinn in the sideline reacting, like that was unreal.
McLaurin's there too for the tip as well. Like McLaurin's there watching in great position too if it tips forward.
And Zach Ertz goes upper.
Yep.
They executed perfectly.
Yeah, because he's trying to get it up.
Ertz's job is to cause scrum.
Yeah.
Like that is what. Now, granted, catch if you can, but also let's keep this fucker alive.
Yeah.
Almost. Wow. Commanders are a different team.
Good program.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Congrats, Commanders fans. I don't know how you feel about the name of the team, but your team's playing vastly different. Okay, let's make picks for this evening, shall we? One more game. How do we do this weekend? How do we do this weekend? I legitimately don't know. 8-6, 6-8.
Okay.
Man, I feel pretty good about
it. I feel pretty good about 6. I thought I had about 2 or 3.
Man, I was watching the games yesterday with daughter, Mackenzie, and wife. It was fun. Yesterday was a fun day. I enjoyed it. There were some moments, obviously, where Mackenzie doesn't care that there's a big 4th down ahead.
Sure.
Of course. And she wants to go on a little bit of a run around the house.
Sure.
And shout out to the NFL Game Day morning crew yesterday for the hospitality. I really enjoyed stopping by there. Great technical setup. I don't know if you guys saw it. I just went ahead and
pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
I had an influencer light. I knew the lighting was going to be good. Anytime you have a window open behind you, you're going to have to put a little front lighting in, and that thing's just dancing on the keyboard. So when I got into Zoom, obviously it was like it was making a lot of noise, so I had to mute the keyboard somehow. Wow. But nonetheless, thank you for the hospitality. Yesterday was awesome, but Sam asked me, she was like, how are your picks doing today? I'm like, I genuinely don't know each week. I have no idea. Because with the spread, you could be right, could be wrong if you don't remember exactly. And yeah, it's been fun to get some right. Let's roll to tonight. New York Giants traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. There'll be a Manning cast. There'll be Joe and Troy. The Steelers are favored by 6 at home. 8:15 Eastern kick. That's late. That's a late one. Wouldn't have minded 7:30. Wouldn't have minded 7:30, but I know West Coast obviously is going to pay attention to this one. 4:30 is too early. Yeah. Way too early. 8:15 kick. D-Butch, how do you see this game going, pal?
Where's the public on this one, Tone? Is it one of those? Lot?
Yeah, 83% Steelers.
Oh, no. How's that gone this weekend thus far?
6-6.
Okay.
I'll go with Danny Dimes. I'll go with Danny Dimes in the Giants to cover. Steelers win in a close one, but I like that defensive line they got. I think they'll get after Steelers and keep it close.
AJ Hawk, do you agree with D-Butch? How do you see this one going?
I like the Steelers and Russ. I think Russ continues, and I think hopefully he gets announced after the defense as well. Maybe he and TJ at the same time. They come out together, really get that place rolling. But yeah, I expect them to win and cover here.
Yeah, if Russell rides TJ, maybe, because TJ comes out and does a big jump and a yell. So if Russ was on his back,
that'd be sweat.
And then terrible towel.
Or Russ is in a backpack. Russ is in like a big camping backpack on TJ's
like Ace
back.
Ventura.
No, a front pack. A front.
Oh, the
baby.
The baby.
What do you call that? Yeah.
SWAT.
A baby Bjorn.
A baby
Yeah.
Bjorn.
Baby Bjorn.
Russell Wilson and a baby Bjorn.
Oh, yes.
On the front of TJ.
Sweet.
As TJ comes and does his, and Russell Wilson is facing out, obviously, not right.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Not back.
His legs and arms dangling. He's got a football
And
in
he
both
does
hands.
it too.
Yeah.
So there is. So TJ comes out and does his big jump yell thing, and Russ is right in front.
Like he's on the cross.
And
I can't wait.
That'd be good. No, his legs are spread too. The legs are
I
not.
thought you were just going to stay.
No, because the legs.
Well, he might.
The legs have a straddle thing, so
Yeah.
he's starfishing basically on front of TJ.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
It's gonna be so sick.
Good wake up for the quads too for TJ.
Yeah.
Carrying another grown man out there.
And jumping.
Can you imagine him carrying Mr. Unlimited out?
That'd be awesome.
I can.
Oh my God.
One way
Too
to
much
find
ore.
out.
Too
Those
much ore.
fireworks.
Or overload.
Ready, Russ? 1, 2, and.
Something to think about.
Do it.
Russ can't wear his helmet though. Russ likes to wear his helmet out.
He does.
It does.
It can't wear a backwards hat either. Going to have to be front because if not, he'll get TJ right in the mouth.
Yeah, he will.
We don't need
Snow
that.
hat tonight. Snow hat. Put the snow hat.
Oh,
on.
beanie.
Yep.
That's a good idea. Oh my
Backwards
God.
hat. He's just jabbing him in the eye. He's jabbing Teach in the eye the whole time.
Hey TJ, you don't do this? Bummed out.
Yeah, big
Pretty
time.
bummed out.
Might
Me too,
lose.
yeah.
All right, so we both made our picks. D-Butch is going against us. I don't know if I love that. D-Butch, have you been doing good against?
Nah, I ain't been keeping track.
Smart.
Yeah, just let it ride.
One day at a time. One pick at a time.
Oh, mama, coming baby for my life from the That's going to happen tonight. You going to be awake for it?
Tone. Oh, yeah, I'll be awake. But Tone, every time the camera cuts to Tone, it's just a new surprise every time I see that stash.
You should see him
Not
the other
great.
night. The other
Not
night.
great.
No, it's pretty sweet.
Did you see
Let's
Nick's
not zoom in.
stash? Did you
Let's
see
not
Nick's
zoom in.
stash? Did you see Nick's stash? Nick got one too.
No.
Yeah, a couple stashed up dudes. Diggs had a great Halloween party this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Diggs. Thank you, Diggs, for the Halloween party.
Sure.
Boys got a chance to come hang out at the house. House was spooky.
Very
So
spooky.
super spooky.
House was very decorated.
Really cool spider out front.
Really cool spider inside to take photos underneath as well. Yeah, that one out front was very
It's
cool.
radioactive. If it bites you, you get poisoned.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit.
That one out front?
Yeah.
I don't know how HOA lets that. I don't know
The
how.
kids aren't going to bite the kids.
It grabbed its leg. It's slow.
You told HOA to fuck off?
Yeah.
You're such an outlaw, dude. Everyone's an outlaw. Until it's time to do outlaw shit.
That's right. The truth, brother.
Amen. Well, Coach Saban said on Saturday, everyone wants to be a beast until it comes time to do what beasts have to do or whatever. And I almost got everyone's an outlaw, Coach. I almost, because I listened to Brian Martin's song 1,000 times in the last week and a half. IU was cool.
Was it? Looked pretty sweet.
Great spot.
Full power outage during the open on stage. Full.
Whoa.
Lights off, everything off, side screens off. I think the open's rolling, so we can still hear somehow. I don't know what was on, what was not on. I don't know if it was a power surge or whatever. So literally, as show is starting, there's really nothing on stage that's working. So that was quite a scene. That was quite a moment. And the entire crowd obviously saw everything shut down, and they go, "Whoa!" Like a big whoa.
Yeah.
They're about to go banana. They've been out there since 4 p.m. the day before. Here we go. It's about to start.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, everything shuts off. And it's like, all right, here we go. We got audio. We got some photos possibility. Reese was going to guide through the entire thing. And then all of a sudden, power starts coming back on.
All right.
Screens pop back on. And it's like, all right, here we go. And then as it gets started, Coach Corso gets an opportunity to say his thing. Mics turn on to the crowd. In the middle of that, obviously, they get crazy. And then from there on, it was wonderful to be down there and experience it. It's like what Coach Cignetti has done down there.
Wow. Changed the world. Changed everything about that whole school.
So the basketball team hasn't been in the Final Four in 22 years. Okay?
Wow. That
So
long.
bingo. Long time.
Yeah.
And they've been a basketball school, like the basketball team is what the fans wait for every single year. It's like, this is going to be the year maybe. We signed a good recruit. We got a transfer in here. Like, IU basketball is going to be good this year. And then inevitably, seemingly, it has been disappointment every single year, but their fan base is still jacked up for it. So for the football team, and these are football people out here, so for the football team to come in and be good and be old school and be tough and it's like they've been waiting. And I think Coach Signetti said on Saturday when he was asked about it, he was like, these people were starving. It was like, not just for football. They were starving just for kind of something to bring them back. And it's like they showed up. They were 4:30 p.m. the day before. There was an entire block of people. We drove by them. I rolled my window down. I was like, because there was a couple kids practicing kicking the field goal. And I was like, that ain't going to work. And then we turned the corner and everybody went bananas. It was really cool to get down there and experience that. Congrats to Signetti. Congrats to Taven getting a big-time win. He comes out in the second half, throws a pick, bounces back, recovers. They put foot on throat, still undefeated. IU should be applauded for everything they did.
Oh, yeah.
Great job.
Now, Jake.
Yeah.
Field goal kicker. Buddy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is real. This is real.
It's a warm-up backstage by Jake. And the bad news about Jake is, and I don't know if a lot of people know this because I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of messages from a lot of people telling me that I need to pick them to do the field goal kick, that I am a soft-ass bitch if I don't pick them, that kicking is easy, yada, yada. A lot of people send that to me. Then I have a lot of people saying, why don't you pick a girl? You should pick a girl. It's like, I don't pick anybody, okay? It is 100 tickets are given out to like the first batch of people that get there. They have to say, yes, would like to be a part of the kick. Then they get a ticket. Then there's a raffle that is pulled during like the first or second commercial break. And then that person is obviously found. Their group around them goes crazy. It's always a cool moment, kind of getting the first eyes on who the kicker's going to be, because this one was $100,000, and I'm like, okay, I see this guy. He had a little bit of a limp from the beginning, from like getting picked. He had a little bit of a limp, and I go, oh boys, I don't know if this guy is going to be able to make it. And then a few segments later, I walk backstage, and there's a different kid sitting there, and he's like, hi, my name's Jerem. I'm the kicker. I'm like, you are not. So did the other guy pick you to kick for him? Which, interesting move. I would have to make a decision in the moment there. Like, I think I would let it fly. Like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. If you guys are going to split the music, or split the money, that's a pretty cool little thing. Interesting take on this you guys are doing here. And then all of a sudden, somebody from Game Day comes up and is like, first guy he got injured.
Blew his knee out.
Really
I'm like,
bad.
what? I'm like, what's that? First guy got injured. I'm like, where is he? Like, he left. We didn't think. He said he still wanted to do it. He got injured really bad. And I'm like, what do you, this is all within like a 2-minute period where we're doing commercial break. So I am mind blown by it all. I'm like, all right, Jeremy, good luck. And then I go back up to the set, get a text message from Connor. And it is a video. And Connor was backstage for this particular show, and he goes, this just happened. No shit, to the kicker that was picked. And it was the guy that I saw get out of the crowd on him. That video is the video that comes across, and I go, oh my God. So whenever old buddy Jeff from Game Day was like, he got injured, it was bad, I was like, what? This guy's being dramatic. And I saw the video, I'm like, holy fuck.
Rushed him to the hospital.
It was really bad. It was.
I wish that would have happened on national.
Really, really. I'm happy it did not. Jake, I got a chance to talk to Jake, the guy whose knee went backwards or sideways or however you would like to describe, always, I guess, in the middle of a practice run. He wanted us to know that he stayed for the rest of the show.
Wow.
Oh, he didn't tap out?
He's gritty.
He stayed.
Whoa.
He did not tap out.
No tapping out.
It's a tough dude, though, to stay.
He stayed for the rest of the show. He is back home. I believe he's getting an MRI soon.
Sure.
And I think I'm chatting with him on Wednesday because I never met him. So, like, I saw him walk from the pit area to backstage, and I gave him a wave, and I go, you ever kicked anything before? And I think he gave like a ha. And I was like, all right, okay, I don't know. I don't know if I could read. I don't know if this guy's going to do it. So I never even met him. So I reached out, sent him an email, like, would like to at least meet you.
Sure.
And then also, dude, that looked bad.
Tough look.
What happened? Can you play it one more time?
Oh, it's
For sure.
Slick,
For sure, student.
Which knee left him?
which knee? Okay, which knee?
I think the left one.
AJ. Connor got that video from a student.
From one of the students who was standing back there just like filming this kid, yeah.
You got to fucking see this right now.
How'd it go down with you and the kid that was recording it?
So I ended up probably back over there because I saw him walking backstage too, but me and Debo were kind of bouncing around, just going around to some of the different spots backstage and kind of over where the crowd was as well. So when we got back from where we were walking around, we were going to meet Gump too to get our passes or whatever. And when we got back, some kid said like, hey, you missed it, but the field goal kicker blew his knee out. And I was like, what do you mean he blew his knee out? And then he flipped his camera around. He's like, he blew his fucking knee out. And, of course, as soon as I saw it, I was like, you need to airdrop that to me right now. I need that video immediately. This thing is going triple platinum.
This is news, though.
If we can get this. Yeah, and also it was news. And turns out it ended up going. I mean, that kid really fucked up his knee.
Now, and for Jake's side of it all, if you don't see that video, I don't think you fully comprehend what happened.
No, you don't.
Jake trying to explain that to people without the video being out there.
Impossible.
Yeah, I just went on like a practice and everything just disappeared. Let me show you this Tom Segura video.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like that, but it was my knee instead. It was everything there. That's what happened. It's like, Jake, good effort, pal. I appreciate the effort. Can't wait to catch up with him on Wednesday. We'll get an update. We will be tracking his recovery story.
Sure.
And maybe there'll be a redemption, $150,000.
Oh, that'd be cool. Well, judging by his practice, I feel like it's going to go in for sure. What?
He was already injured, I think.
He had to be.
He was already injured. That ends up being the thing. So now he hopefully will get it fixed.
Yep.
He'll have a recovery. And since it's in Indiana, we're just right up the road. Beautiful drive down there.
Oh, I like that.
I took the 2500 heavy duty Rebel Ram down there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Smooth.
Smooth ride, active ride, beautiful views, steady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like I was on clouds.
Sure.
I was on clouds driving down there. But he's just right down the road. So
Also,
we'll do
what was that? Who did the? Oh, Tosh. He did the redemption thing on his TV show or whatever.
Yeah, this is very similar to that, I guess. Now that we're running back through it, when people got embarrassed on the internet, you get a chance to get right. If you could do it differently, how would you do it? Exactly. This is a tribute to Daniel Tosh.
To your point, too, I believe the warm-up kick he did right before that, his knee, buckled. So right before...
Let me give it a go again.
He's dealing with something.
No quit, this guy.
Yeah, no,
I like that he went full go. Some people when they warm up, they go like half speed, They go like half speed. They're like, oh, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I feel pretty loose. And then when you go full speed, it's like, well, that's not what I tried. And then everything just works. He was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to give this
Game reps.
I'm going to have to give this a full go. And he committed mentally,
Yeah.
knowing that.
Yeah, my knee might blow out here. A little dewy out here on the grass.
That's Hoosier football, baby.
Yeah.
They're all in.
Hoosiers. I was talking to them, the crowd beforehand, because there's not a lot of chance.
No.
They haven't had like a football program.
Yeah.
So that's normally when things start. So I was like chit-chatting with them about, what do we like? What do we not like? Do you know Tom Petty? Do we know she grew up tall? And they just hit it on her. I'm like, okay, younger generation, classic, good song.
Mm-hmm.
Love that you guys are doing that. And then I said, obviously we got Hoosier. And they did it for 5-6 minutes straight back. And I was like, so if I just start this fucker, you guys will just go for 3 hours if we let them? And they're like, Hoosier. I'm like, all right, good energy, good juice. Now that was early. That was 8:30 a.m.
Sure.
Siggs was awesome. I can't remember what he said. He said, "Go Hoosiers,
go IU,
go IU," and just keep saying it
over and over and over again. He's the best. They're good, dude. Mm-hmm. They're ranked 13th right now.
That's
you think it should be higher?
Well, they were 13th last week, I think.
They beat Nebraska.
Beat the shit out of Nebraska.
Then Ohio State has that Nebraska situation. So a lot of people are saying, well, how come Ohio State loses to Oregon, goes up? Indiana, on no losses, beats the hell out of common opponent more than the other team. How come they're... And it's all because of preseason expectations for some of these voters. Yeah. And all you need to know, IU, in the Big Ten, there's going to be multiple teams that get into the college football playoff.
Correct.
And that is just a matter of fact.
Yep.
And IU is setting itself up to make it to the college football fucking playoff.
Come on.
Is that not insane?
IU's above Alabama. Just seeing them two next to each other on the screen.
It's crazy.
I also hate the tie bullshit.
The what?
Yeah.
The 11-11, how they're doing ties.
Oh.
It's that shit sucks.
That's
I didn't even know that.
Mouse,
Yeah.
That's very rare.
So dumb.
Yeah, and
Wait,
also,
why?
we don't
Why?
believe you.
It's the point system.
Yeah, you could coin toss it. Somebody needs to be 2 11s. Okay. If it was like 2 2s or 2 3s,
Sure.
2 11s, we can't figure out a half point one way or the other here.
I don't know how many people vote. A lot of people are tagging me. I don't vote for college, just so everybody knows that.
NFL operation.
Yeah. I don't know how many voters there are, but I know when you rank all 25 and you get a certain points for each position, for there to be the exact amount of points for two teams is
Congrats to college ball. Congrats to Indiana. Get a big win.
Yeah, huge.
That was a big win. We got a chance to check it out and experience it. You know that $1 million that allegedly was invested in the Alabama stadium operation to become what it is? IU's going to have to do that. They're going to have to do that. Speaker's only on one side. Can't really hear it. Can't really hear it on the other side. Place is packed up. Press box
stinks.
Probably going to need a little. I mean, but it's like
no light show.
No, well, it was middle of the day.
Day game.
It was just you couldn't hear anything. There was this guy giving his soul out on a promo.
Oh yeah,
right in front of us.
Great promo.
Great. I didn't hear
Great
it.
juice.
I could not hear him because of how loud it was, and the speaker was on the other side. But he was giving it all.
Feel it.
Nobody could hear a word he was saying in the entire stadium. And it's like now that they are this program, and now that I think they are able to like call boosters and be like, "Hey, we're the real deal. You can kind of do this." They upgrade that stadium just a little bit with the way it looks. It looks fucking cool. They got a full.
Well, see, we're gonna build it up over here. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They can. Though.
They should start right after their last home game. They need to start.
Yeah.
Build up the weight room, which they are already doing and have done. Build up the stadium, which is already a great base. I mean, it is a good start. Then you're able to get your guys. You're able to use the transfer portal. You have money. Signetti has a blueprint to success. It's like, is Indiana all of a sudden a football school?
There's a chance.
Maybe.
There's a chance. I hope it's the
They
case.
do need to start right after the last game because, like Kansas is doing that with their stadium right now, and they're playing their home games in the Chiefs Stadium, and they're not having the best season. So when you play in the Chiefs Stadium that holds like 90,000 and 25,000 people show up, it looks so bad.
Yeah. That place was filled up.
It was packed.
There was one corner up in the top we were very worried about. Thought it was maybe Washington fans, and they just kept their tickets but didn't travel. And it was like, that's going to look bad because that's like in the back of a lot of shots. And then all of a sudden, right before kickoff, completely filled.
Yeah, completely.
Signetti towels flying. It was loud.
Yeah, it was electric in there.
It was.
No bullshit. Every seat packed. I know a lot of stadiums say sold out, but that was like legit sold out.
Yeah.
Like need to build. Now they'll have to give Sig probably $50 million before they do that. But if they keep Sig here for a few more years, man, the sky's the limit.
I talked to President Pam Whitten. She's from, I think, Georgia Bulldogs. She's been with Indiana for 4 years. I asked her, I was like, so what is IU like known for? Like whenever I'm talking about it, what do I need to know? Like School of Business, I guess 27,000 people apply, 2,000 people make it. Largest med school in the country, IU. And then they have purposely picked Curt Signetti to be their head football coach for all of this. They wanted somebody that could work with quarterbacks on offense and somebody that has won before. So they wanted somebody experienced. They were like, I said, so a lot of people say that Signetti had no other options but Indiana, but it feels like you guys were seeking Curt Signetti, and they were like, yes. And I was like, because, in the world we're in, they're like, we are all aligned. President's aligned, athletic director's aligned. Governor was there. Governor Holcomb, he's in his final months of being a governor here in Indiana. He's been there for, I think, 8 years or something along those lines. Feels like everybody is aligned that we are going to keep Signetti here and invest in it. And it's like the president was very much like, oh, yeah, this was on purpose. Like, this is, obviously surprising with how quick it was, but we knew this was a big thing. It's like, that's pretty cool to hear. Like, that's pretty...
Yeah. They took a chance. Hiring Sig is kind of taking a chance, too, because not a lot of people knew about him nationally and all the success that he had. And obviously, it's his most high-profile gig. So if it doesn't work out, you look pretty terrible. So the fact that they actually found Sig and they got him, it's huge.
I didn't get a chance to go enjoy a Signetti lasagna.
Damn.
We did get to see, I went to a restaurant called Uptown Cafe. Good food. Good food.
Great.
Had a nice back room there. Then the boys got to experience Bloomington a little bit. I had to go in and study a bit. What'd you guys think of the town?
Great college campus. Great. What spot we went to? Upstairs?
The upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs. Had a little speakeasy.
The upstairs pub. I heard.
Yeah, fantastic place. We actually, they're very hospitable. There's like 4 different bars in one. You love those. Actually 5 because to debut what he was just mentioning, they showed us the speakeasy that was up there. That was also very sweet, very spooky. Very
spooky. What they have? They had spider webs?
Cobwebs, they had skeletons, they had some pictures that would change on the wall when you were looking at it. Cool. And then we ordered food at like 11:55. And the kitchen was closing at 12, and the bartender almost shot all of us in the head. But it was a great time, and he didn't shoot us. And they did make food, and they had fantastic burgers.
Okay, so the upstairs is what it's called.
Yeah, great establishment.
Did you guys get to go by Kilroy's? I heard John Gruden was there.
We were across the road from Kilroy's. We did not get to go. That place was also packed out. I mean, everywhere it was.
Long lines.
Yeah, long lines everywhere. I mean, huge weekend in IU, but it was awesome.
We did see Coach Gruden.
Oh yeah, did you Did you guys get the chance? I didn't get to see him. We were in the same town. We were communicating a little bit. We didn't get to cross paths. On Friday, I was going to potentially try to meet up with Coach Gruden, but I believe the messaging I got was, going to go Kilroy's buy around drinks for his students. And then I saw some photos. He was.
He did. He did do that.
He wasn't there doing it, and I think they were very I think he grew up in Bloomington, Indiana. His dad coached, I think, for IU, maybe with Coach Corso way back in the day. Like, I think that is the connection on why he was there. But, boy, everywhere he went, there was a buzz.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to run into him. You guys saw him.
Yeah, we exchanged quick pleasantries.
Where
in
at?
the lobby. Elevator in the lobby. But
what'd you guys say?
Cool. It's cool. Just introduced ourselves. Cool. Shook hands. He could tell he had a good time, and he was getting ready for the game Saturday morning.
He know who you were?
Yeah, he knew who I was.
Oh, that's awesome. Connor, did you talk to him?
No, I didn't. It was just D-Bud.
You did talk to him.
I shook his hand, but we did not exchange any words. No, D-Bud talked to him.
Did you tell him any? Did you tell him he get back into coaching?
I didn't get a chance to get a word in. Him and D-Bud were just reminiscing on the old days in the NFL.
Oh, nice. How was his energy? Good.
Good energy. Good energy. He was just getting rolling though. You could tell he was just getting rolling. Didn't get a didn't get a nice in, but
You need to do that. All right, let's talk about college football. I guess there's a new starting QB in Iowa.
Wow. That's fucking time.
Iowa's depth chart portends. Okay, Pete. A new starter for the Wisconsin game, as Brendan Sullivan is listed as QB1, would be the first start for Iowa since transferring from Northwestern. Cade McNamara is enlisted. Ty Schmidt, you got to be pumped up about this.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? You know, Iowa's beating Northwestern 12-7 at halftime of the game this weekend, and they take Cade McNamara out, and they end up winning like fucking 44-14 or whatever. Like, Cade McNamara sucks. Okay, he fucking sucks at football.
So this is good.
Yeah, it is, but at what cost? At what cost? Because they could have, like, if Cade McNamara doesn't play against Michigan State, like, there's a chance Iowa wins that game, and then they already have the tough part of the schedule behind them. Like, they could have been one of those teams who, hey, maybe things roll your way. Like, you could get into the college football playoff if 4 teams from the Big Ten get in. But that's not going to happen anymore because they wanted to stick with Cade McNamara because they apparently owed him something. Newsflash, they fucking didn't. He's a Michigan man who transferred to Iowa. He sucked since he set foot on campus. So, you know, a week too late. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Brendan Sullivan can do.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks.
Come off the depth chart completely.
Well, they said he was hurt too, banged up. I think
okay.
that's just their way of, you know, not killing the kid and burying him completely. But
all right, let's go to some overreactions, shall we? This morning, put out a bird call, said, hey, it's another glorious overreaction Monday. Feels like this one is going to be dynamic. All you got to use is the hashtag I don't want to overreact, but it ended up becoming the #1 trend in the United States. We can't thank everybody enough, obviously. Well,
what else?
It was the #2 trend at one point, and the #1 trend was Tyler, which ended up being the #2 trend. And then the #2 trend was hashtag I don't want to overreact, but. And then the #3 trend there, as you see, was Puerto Rico. So hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Puerto Rico, if you were to read it. I don't know. I think.
Fun vacation
Is there
spot.
another hurricane or something?
No.
People are all flocking down there right now. I think that's why.
Oh, okay.
They're planning vacation.
I mean, maybe possibly what you're saying is a part of it, but I don't think it was the reason. I didn't look into it, but I heard maybe there was a joke made about Puerto Rico that
Went over like a lead balloon.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Was a certain I believe with a certain portion of society, it got loud. It was still trending. I think that happened.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
I think it happened. Yeah,
really?
Yesterday. I think it happened yesterday. So I don't know how long it's gonna remain up there, but people were not happy at the joke.
No,
because it wasn't like Puerto Rico.
Oh,
It wasn't like
No, it wasn't
was it Sandler or
No,
it wasn't Sandler.
Rob Schneider?
No, it was actually a guy who does roasting of people. Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does that a lot.
Yeah, he does. He does. A lot of people, I think, didn't know that. I don't think a lot of people knew that, and certainly dynamic. But anyways, hashtag I don't want to overreact. But became the number one trend in the United States. We can't thank everybody enough. This is from Tone Diggs. Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But these are the 5 teams with the worst record the last 20 years. Now this year, the Browns 2-6, Jags 2-6, Jets 2-6, Raiders 2-6. Bad teams stay bad, except the Lions are dominant. Do not waste this, Detroit. Don't let these wins make you content. Go get a pass rusher and get a Super Bowl. Do not fuck this up. And obviously that is the record of the teams. Tone Diggs, it feels like you're saying, hey, Detroit, you are doing something nobody else has been able to do. When you guys are in the pit of shit forever and you get out, let's make sure we get out and enjoy this thing.
Yeah, like in the past years when you guys are like, hey, the Browns, and I'm like, don't worry, the Browns are going to be Browns. You guys did it with Connor with the Jets. Don't worry, the Jets are going to be the Jets. And the Lions were always one of those teams too. But right now, they have a chance to go win a Super Bowl. Yes, they've been winning very well the last few weeks. Their offense is playing incredible. But like Belichick said earlier today, like it's going to come down to your defense at some point. You need to go out and you need to get a guy. I saw Aiden Hutchins sitting in the stands yesterday. Doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon. And you know who agreed with this tweet more than anybody? Who? Bengals fans. Because they just went through it. They were a team that wasn't great for years. They got to the Super Bowl. They thought they're going to be there forever. The last couple of years have been shit. So, like, you're not just – once you get up there, like, it's hard to stay up there. Oh, yeah. And especially for these franchises that haven't done it for a while. Like, you need to go in and go all in when you can. So, go get somebody like
Bengals lose 37-17 at home to the Eagles. Yeah. Obviously, not great times. Joey B's not playing bad.
No, he's playing really good.
Just can't win games.
At defense.
But to the Lions, hey, let's go get it, boys.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with Tone. I mean, the Chiefs literally just traded for a pass rusher for free. So I think Brad Holmes can make something happen.
Oh, yeah, and Brad Holmes is a move maker. What's that, Con?
Yeah, I'm to Foxy's point. That's what pisses me off, too. I said last week, like, hey, let's not make any of these trades with the fucking Chiefs anymore. And the Lions would have been a perfect trade partner.
Well, and now the Patriots are the ones doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't they gave us Van Noy? We'll give you Josh Uche. Or Uche.
Go get it, Lions. We hope you do it.
Yeah, it's got to be Zadarius Smith.
A lot of other really good football players available that we don't know about. Who will get traded that we could have never imagined? Only 8 days until trade deadline day. Tuesday, November 5th. Let's go to another overreaction tweet, shall we? This one's from Con Man. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Patriots have the toughest football team in the entire league. After being called soft publicly by Coach Gerard Mayo, some teams might turn on their head coach. Instead, the Patriots put their hard hats on, grabbed their lunch pails, and beat the shit out of the Jets. 2-6 has never felt more like 6-2 in my life. Also, Drake May is already so good, we don't need him to play anymore till next year when the Patriots have guys with hands that can catch footballs. Con Man, would you like to explain yourself?
Yeah, there are a lot of drops. If you watched the game yesterday, the glaring thing about New England is no longer the offensive line. They've kind of figured it out a little. It is the receivers. It is now solely on them. They are the weakest link of this team, unfortunately, even though they have some good young talent. And then when you just talk about the whole entire talking point last week, it was about how Gerard Mayo, why would you do that? Everybody kind of across the board buried him for calling the team soft. They respond. Keon White said after the game, too, like, hey, as a man, when your coach, who you love, calls you soft, you got to show up and get the job done. And then with Drake May, yeah, look, he's still throwing to nobodies, and he is fantastic. And every single thing he does, I think, as a Patriots fan, you see, and you're like, holy fuck, this guy is basically like Josh Allen with Tom Brady with a little bit of Lamar Jackson in him. So at this point, there's no point. There's no point to wheel him out there. We know what we have. Our entire season is over. We're good at 2-6. We ruined the Jets season. That was awesome. We started the season off with a win, beat the Bengals. That was awesome. Now let's just fucking lose out and get a top receiver or O-lineman.
All right, well, good luck to you guys on that.
Hell yeah.
Hope Drake stays healthy, AJ. I don't like him getting a concussion this early.
That was a nasty shot right to the back of the head. I heard a comment say, like, you got a button back there. Like, it feels like it. That would not be good.
Where the spine meets the brain?
Yeah.
I assume there is something.
Anyone's got that. He stayed in the game, though. He's a tough son of a bitch. No tapping out.
What do you mean?
Hey, after that play, he's a little slow to get up, a little woozy, but he stayed in the game because he's just a fucking mean cuss. And then after the drive, coach was like, hey, let's evaluate this guy. Gets evaluated. After he gets evaluated, Drake May goes to Mayo. He's like, Coach, put me back in. I'm ready to fucking die on this field. And Coach Mayo said, hey, don't worry about it. We don't need you.
Really?
Yeah, I believe he did try and go back in, and Mayo was like, no, you're not allowed to.
You hear that, D-Butch?
I'm right.
How cool is that?
That's quarterback.
That's Drake May football.
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly every starting quarterback in the NFL is football.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next overreaction. Why is he tapping out? Let's not go to this overreaction yet. Is this about AR? It is.
It is. Yeah, kind of perfect.
Mark rolling, Mark's bets. This guy sees the board. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Colts absolutely stink. Every Sunday I put on my clown suit and AR jersey. Just watch my quarterback come out on a third down play because he's too tired. I'd hope. Let's thank for a quarterback that can actually finish a game so football can be fun again. It was fun to me. We almost won that game.
You did?
Shoulda.
Which is a part of the whole thing. You wonder to yourself, if you had a quarterback that, was good, and AR is great at sometimes, but just good and continue to grow and develop in the offense and understand it, this team could be, this year, the team could be a team.
Good players.
And a lot of, Joey Flack's just sitting there, and it's like Joey Flack gets dropped in. He's able to make things happen. He's able to make timing throws. Jonathan Taylor's able to be Jonathan Taylor still. We got Goodson and Sermon also in the backfield. We got a good offensive line. DeForest Buckner's back on defense. He was a terror to CJ Stroud.
Nasty.
It's like this team can go, but we're stuck in this kind of quagmire, if you will, D-Butch, right now.
And we took AR top 5, and look, he was a wild card coming out. Didn't play a bunch of football in college. But we all know your best ability is availability. He did tap out for one play. Obviously, it's going to be a huge deal because you don't tap out at the quarterback position. But, we got to be optimistic going forward. He is our quarterback. Well, he will continue to play.
Do we? I don't know.
We got to. We got a long season.
I'm pretty bummed out. I'm pretty bummed out about it because, last year there was games. Oh! Yeah, exactly. It just hit you. This hit me like this yesterday.
Sure. You don't have to. You want to be optimistic.
I want to be too. Yeah. But there were games last year, first couple games, where he would leave the field, and it's like, what happened?
Where are you going?
And then they were like, medical tests all came back, nothing. And it's like, so what happened? Where did he go? Like, well, he's good. It's like, exactly. What the fuck happened? And then all of a sudden the shoulder thing happens, and it's like, he's consulting with doctors to get a surgery, and it's like, well, could he not get a surgery? No, he should get, okay, so he gets surgery, he's gone. All right, so this year we got to do last year all over again. And then he's running people over, he's bouncing up. Yeah. It's like, okay, this dude gets it, he understands it. And then the last 2 weeks, it's like he forgot that that's what he was doing, before he got hurt. And then he gets tired.
It's also just tough, too, when, you have Gardner Minshew and you have Joe Flacco, so you see what the offense can do.
Shane Steichen's offense.
Yeah, exactly. He goes out and those guys come in, and it's like, oh, wow, this team can score points and, look very efficient. And then he goes back in, and it doesn't look good. And it's like, well, listen, we knew that we were going to have these hiccups. We kind of just got to wait for him to
We're looking for the future. For the future. It's like, how long we waiting for the future, okay? And can he not wait until the future to play and watch Joe Flacco do his thing? And was he in the building last year watching Gardner Minshew? Where was he? Did he get any mental reps last year?
That was the issue, watching Gardner.
Gardner was Pro Bowler last year. I will have you remember.
Yeah. Played well.
He played well yesterday, too.
He played great.
He did. And he also, you guys just don't get it. AR said, ain't nobody fucking play quarterback like me.
Maybe Lamar.
True.
Maybe Lamar. Maybe. And it's kind of hard because, you got Jaden Daniels, who's a rookie, who actually runs just kind of like him and has been one of the most efficient
Josh Allen.
guys.
MVP.
Yeah, broke his rib and went up there and won a game. So, you say something like that and then people immediately point to that. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Colts head coach Shane Steichen to reporters on whether quarterback Anthony Richardson will start Sunday night in Minnesota. I forgot Sunday Night Football. Great.
Yeah, perfect timing.
We're evaluating everything, says Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen also confirms there was a conversation with Richardson in the quarterback room. They'll be kept private, but he knows he can't come out of the game. Okay.
Well, he does now. He didn't know, but now he does.
Marky Mark's, we're all on the same page.
Yep.
And I hope your bets are hitting because I'll tell you what, I think that's all we have. No, we're still in it. We're still in it. We're still in it. We still go. AR, good when he's playing.
Yes.
But very worried that a 22-year-old who has already had a shoulder surgery, so he went through an entire rehab, right? Coming out of your rehab, you should be in the best shape you've ever been in because you're forced to work out every single day. Life is your own thing. So if he comes out of a rehab from a shoulder surgery and then has a 2-week hip thing and he can't run 15 yards without tapping out, it's like, what have you been doing? What has been?
Can't happen.
Just crushing.
How do we get?
That's all.
What's he been doing?
Just crushing.
You have any graphics for that?
No.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the AR is cool one?
Yeah, I saw the AR is a cool guy.
Yeah, I did too.
That's kind of crushing. That's kind of like.
Did you see the trivia, AJ? He did trivia to start the show.
Yeah, do you know?
I did. Conman had what? 3 slides, I believe. 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Graphics. They're on slides. This isn't a PowerPoint.
He said he went.
Right.
Here's the trivia. I don't know if you've. I was.
Who's
tired.
that first guy again?
Oh, who you mean?
Pheidippides?
Pheidippides, yes.
Nice.
Pheidippides was the Greek mailman that ran the 26.2 miles first, which is now what the marathon is. And turned out Pheidippides died because of it.
Mm-hmm.
He was tired.
He didn't tap out.
No, he didn't.
Marcus Luttrell, obviously, we all know who Marcus Luttrell
He
is.
didn't tap
Lone
out.
survivor.
He didn't tap out.
Yep.
Couldn't tap out. Mike McCarthy, I don't know why he's on here. You still have yet to describe why is Mike McCarthy on
Just
here?
because, like, I assumed at one point, like, you might think that he would say that when he was like crushing those watermelons at a team meeting.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you might
whenever
think,
he was, because he was throwing a sledgehammer. He was so exhausted
He
throughout
didn't,
his
though.
back.
Bingo. Yeah, but he did not.
He kept swinging.
When he was watching all that film in his basement with Tom Pelissero.
When he was being the head coach of the Cowboys for Jerry Jones, he said, maybe I should tap out. But he didn't.
Never did.
Those were a lot of shit. He got to hear it on all sides every week. He could tap out.
Good. We don't know. And then Anthony obviously was the right answer. That was the problem.
Ding.
One for one. One for one.
We don't need the thing to light up.
Yeah, we do. We need the show.
That's impressive. What an impressive graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Connor in the graphics department, D-Bone, really did.
We were in the lab.
After the first break, I said, who made the graphic? When do we, and D-Bone, obviously, me and Connor went to work this morning. It's like, went to work. Okay, listen, we already have all the graphics.
Cool guy one.
Jeez.
And we have them. Okay, we have
This one, that one's tough.
Connor's a producer all of a sudden. Connor's executive producing some graphics.
These things just come to me, man.
There's some story. All right, let's go to the next over. He'll learn from this, right?
He'll learn. Or he won't.
He already did. He already learned. He can't, I can't
Tropical
do that.
Farms. You walk into your trap, take your trap. Tropical Farms. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Jaden effing Daniels has single-handedly saved the DMV from 25 plus years of pure torture. He will bring championships to Washington and will go down as a top 5 QB of all time. Hail Mary to the Commanders. I'm still rock hard. I need to call a doctor. Tropical Farms got a boner because what Jaden Daniels has been able to do. I don't know if it was just a Hail Mary or everything they've done this year, but what a turnaround for them. Dan Quinn goes in there, backwards hat. Cliff Kingsbury comes in, does his thing. That team shows up for them. Congrats to Commanders fans, and I can see why they're walking around getting zipper burned on the tips of their penises over there.
Yeah, this is the dream, basically. If you're a football fan for any of those teams that, Diggs brought up in his overreaction, aside from the Lions, of course, but like getting a rookie QB and just having no turnover. Like with the Colts, it's a perfect comparison. Like they didn't have to do any of the bullshit like, hey, this is a lot of potential. We need a year, kind of figure out if this kid knows how to play. Like they have been good since week 1, and they've been dominant too. Like their offense, we talked about it when they played Arizona. Like they killed the Cardinals, and granted, yesterday wasn't like a easy win, but the fact that they can win ugly too, and also the other people they brought in, who was it? Peters is the GM. He's a first time GM.
Yeah, from Bill, right? Remember we talked to him on draft night.
Yeah, bingo. It's like them like knowing now too, like, oh, they have it figured out. Like it's not just like, okay, Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback. It's like the guys they also brought in were perfect for Dan Quinn's culture and perfect for the offense they're trying to run. Like there is a chance that they really are good for 20 fucking.
New ownership, congratulations. Some of those owners, right? Magic and them, part of the Dodgers organization. Magic's won like every team, right?
Yes.
That he's been a part of. I don't know if that's just kind of what Magic Johnson does whenever he owns a team. And we all thought he had no shot with this Washington team, and I know he's not the majority owner. It's Josh Harris, yada, yada, yada. But every team that Magic Johnson has been a part of the ownership group has won the championship. Dodgers potentially going to do it here.
He's already won with the Dodgers, too.
Okay, so there we go. So it's like the Commanders potentially being the next one for him. That guy's got the golden touch.
He does.
Truly.
Doesn't he? He's got the golden touch.
And I mean, Jaden, he should probably be right up there with Jared Goff, probably the leader. Jared Goff didn't have a huge game. Lamar lost this weekend. He should probably be right at the top of that MVP ladder.
Not going to happen.
I know.
We talked about it last week because of these AP votes.
Yeah, only one. Jim Brown in 1957 is only rookie to win the MVP. But, I mean, what he's doing this year, that was the biggest offensive game against that Bears defense. Bears defense hasn't played a bunch of great quarterbacks this year, but what he's doing early on, and to that guy, I forgot, it's Tropical Farms. 25 years. Like, I mean, you get a new ownership group, a new quarterback, new coach, new GM, and you just start winning immediately. It's got to be a great feeling for him.
Magic has 8 championships as an owner. Is what Zito just said on there. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And it's like, this team would be the most unbelievable because of what the NFL has been. And I don't think any of us are saying they're going to win a Super Bowl this year, but why not?
Yeah.
And it's like, can you keep Cliff Kingsbury there? Can you keep Cliff Kingsbury there, especially with his head coaching pedigree? And maybe he, like Dan Quinn, do I want to be a head coach again?
Yeah. Good point.
Do you know? And if
young quarterback.
if you're Josh Harris and you just have this brand new team that's having the success that it's having with this young quarterback, somebody wants to take Cliff, what's the big difference? The paycheck, right? Between head coach and offense coordinator? You got no salary cap on the coaching staff. It's like you could bump Cliff's contract up, a couple $1 million, pay him on course with a bottom end head coach, keep him in there. It's like if you really want to go all in and keep the pieces intact, you can going forward.
Who was it, Shefty or Lombo last week or whatever? And he was like, that's why somebody like Ben Johnson stayed with the Lions because the coordinator salaries have become so much better and aren't that much worse than the head coaches, that if Cliff does that, it could not be in a great situation though next year. Like he could wait for that perfect situation like Ben Johnson's doing.
Slowick, Ben Johnson, Cliff Kingsbury. Seems like there is a plethora of offensive gurus. If you're in a good spot and you got a good team, enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right, let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? It's from Ryan Calla. Ryan Calabrese. All right, Paisan. Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But the New York Jets fucking stink. The defense is Swiss cheese. Greg the leg stinks. The offense is broken, and Woody still owns the team. Same shit, different year. When will the misery end? No amount of ayahuasca can cure this trauma. Aaron, welcome to the darkness, brother. Aaron said I've already been to the darkness.
You got to accept it.
It's pretty well documented that he has been to the darkness. Pretty pivotal point of his entire career, actually, that darkness retreat that he did in a hill in Oregon or something like that. He, I don't know if he's on tomorrow because they got a Thursday night game. So tomorrow is very much a work day. There's more than likely not that we do not talk to him. But I would like to hear his thoughts. I would like to kind of see, because there's people that, don't believe in curses, I guess. There's people that don't believe in curses. Feels like they might be over there. Doesn't it?
What can they, that's the thing. Like we can hear from him, and I know Aaron even said, I think last week, like, everything we can talk about and say all the right things, but if we don't win, like, who cares? None of it truly matters, and it just, I don't know. It would not be a fun environment right now, I would imagine.
What was the stat that came out too? They're the second team in NFL history to hold a team to under 200 yards, have no turnovers, and still lose. The last team to do that was the Packers in the Hail Mary game in Seattle. So it's like even when they seemingly play like one of their cleanest games of the year, they still get beat by one of the worst teams in the NFL. It's like at that point, it's like, oh shit, there's nothing we can do.
Here's an actual talking about your team. Your sorry ass team has put the Jets fans into a full spiral. Here's Mike Greenberg from this morning. Non-overreaction, he says.
The New York Jets of 2024 are one of the colossal failures in sports history. When we talk about the true failure teams, people always go back to the 2011 Philadelphia Eagles, who called themselves the Dream Team, who, by the way, finished 8-8. This team isn't going to finish anywhere near 8-8. This is a team that went as all in as any team ever has. And I can't say I thought it was the wrong thing to do. As it was happening, I thought it was the right thing to do. So I guess I'm as guilty of this as anybody else. But when you consider the future Hall of Fame quarterback and the trade they make for his longtime best friend and all these young players they have on the roster, and they fire the coach because it's going to make them better and it only makes them worse, and everything else, all the words that have been said, all the words that have been written, all the actions that have been taken, all the hype and all the belief that has existed, and what the actual results have been, the Jets of 2024 are one of the greatest, most colossal and embarrassing failures in sports history. And that sticks to all of them. So when people say, does this stick to Rodgers? Yes. It doesn't mean he's not an all-time great. It doesn't mean he's not a Hall of Famer. But it most certainly goes in the permanent record. It goes in the bio. The New York Jets turned over their entire franchise to him, and it got much, much worse. Like, embarrassingly worse. What they're doing is embarrassing to watch. I've been following this team 50 years. I've never been as embarrassed to say that I'm a fan or to say that I believed in them as I have been this season and yesterday in particular, with absolutely everything on the line against a team that for all intents and purposes is tanking and lost their quarterback in the second quarter. For the Jets to lose that game and look as uninspired as they did might genuinely be a new low for a franchise that has hit a lot of lows. So that is the legacy of this group, whatever happens from here. This is one of the colossal failures that we've ever seen in sports.
In sport, he says. I'm going to FaceTime him to hear if he feels any better now than he did this morning. But, man, I think he's echoing the sentiment of a lot of Jets fans, AJ. They have lost hope, brother. They're saying worst in the history of ball, brother.
Yeah, it's terrible when you lose hope. You always need to have some kind of hope, and I guess with the expectations, yeah, that's Greeny. You lose Greeny off the bandwagon, it's tough.
That's why the win meant so much for New England. Like, of course, 2-6 doesn't matter. But when you take the soul of the New York Jets fan base, it is the greatest feeling. And there was a meme, I forget who did it, but it was talking about how, like, Patriots' high or lowest expectations in the last 25 years, shaking the hand of the Jets, highest expectation in the last 25 years, both 2-6. And guess who's last in the division right now?
Who's that?
New York Football Jets.
Jeez, no answer from Greeny. That's probably why, if I had to guess. But that was, you could see he put some effort into that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? This is from Gangstalicious at Toxic Tremaine. Toxic Tremaine. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Matt Eberflus has his head so far up his ass, he farts out of his mouth. Shame to say I got fooled by the stupid fucking haircut and beard. Fuck this team. Fuck Cody Parkey. Fuck everything. I can see why you feel that way. Zito, what was the first thing I said to you when you walked in here today? I'm so sorry, dude.
Sorry, yeah.
I am so sorry, dude. And it's because that could be a very natural reaction of every Chicago Bears fan, let alone bringing up Cody Parkey. Okay. Yeah. Jerem did this weekend, the guy who was kicking the field goal. I have a quick conversation before, and I go, have you ever said anything bad about kickers before? He said, I'm from Chicago. And I go, so that's a yes? He goes, Cody Parkey, yeah, I've said terrible things. I'm like, all right, Jerem, I understand completely. I retweeted one of these guys who said, you could never understand or where I came from as a Bears fan in all the different moments, and then you add the fucking 29 coming in, tipping this thing at the last second in 1 verse 2. Zito, are you okay? Is everything all right out there, or how do Bears fans kind of cope with all of this?
Me personally, I still like Eberflus. Obviously, his record, I think, is still like below 500. But I like him as a person. I like him way more than Nagy. So if that means anything.
One thing Rex Ryan brought up that we haven't brought up today was that they had 3 timeouts before that final play. Like, did he not?
Sweat was not in.
Yeah, he didn't see Stevenson running around down there, I assume, or what if he called a timeout? Like, in that situation, as a defender, would you have liked to have maybe called a timeout?
I mean, you get a Kodak, but I mean, that's just seeing what formation they come out in. But I mean, shit, they're running the Hail Mary. Yeah. It's not like, hey, it's 3rd and 8, let's see, or 3rd and goal from the 8, and you got to see a different formation or motion, and you call it late timeout. So, yeah, you can definitely look at it. You're taking those timeouts back on the bus or back home or whatever, but I mean, that's not a big deal with the Hail Mary situation.
I think Rex was talking about because Sweat wasn't on the field.
That too, yeah.
That's huge. Now, that's huge.
That and if he saw Stevenson talking to the
What
crowd.
the fuck's he doing? Hey! Yeah! You see my guy? Let's go. We're playing. Fuck Eber. Fuck the beard.
Yep.
Fuck Cody Parkey.
God.
People are sick and tired of Eberflus just from the internet reactions. Him, Shane Waldron as well. Not a lot of people happy with doing a fullback dive with your backup center on the goal line. Him losing the fumble. Yeah, that kind of
good play.
That kind of.
Yeah, but if you score there, we got the fridge again.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing the fridge like the good old days.
4th quarter, 3rd down.
Yeah, he made some interesting calls for sure.
That was quick. I mean, that was real close too. I mean, that was quick.
Well, and Roshan Johnson, he has a pretty high hit rate on the goal line. He actually ended up scoring on the next drive when they got the ball back.
Yeah, you got to open that window, brother.
That's a tough handoff.
Everyone
for anybody.
was saying that it was
quick.
a bad handoff.
You got to open that window, brother.
Especially when you
got buddy got bent back.
Elbow pads on there.
Yeah, 76 in a bad spot. I mean, the Commanders' defense is obviously eating there. That's a quick handoff there.
Yeah, that's so quick.
That's very fast, especially that low. And they got no push. No push at all.
No push.
No push.
No push.
No push after the game.
Push after the game.
Yeah, Chicago Bears might be out of push for a long time. Long time.
No more push.
Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? This one's from... Oh, no. Here we go. Hey, that was a good run.
Sorry, I have to combine them all. It sucks.
Hey, it's all right. You're doing great back there. Last one here from Bink at Nick Boyko 17. Bink is a sweet nickname.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Spelled Bink.
You can make fun of Bink for a lot of things.
Well, we know who Bink is.
Yeah, but like a baby Binky, I guess, is like a part of that whole
Bink's a wild card.
I mean, Bink is certainly one that will do that. Hashtag I don't want to react, but being a Cowboys fan right now is the worst. Well, I think there's a couple other places, but I respect what you're saying, Bink. Jerry said, we like our guys, but we paid a guy $240 million to suck every week. And Big Mike is basically calling plays on a Denny's menu. Dak should be thrown in jail for robbery. Okay, I don't know if Dak's the problem. The Denny's menu is a good one. Moon's over my hammy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Moon over my hammy.
Their meatloaf skillet is to die for.
The skillet is certainly, I mean, it is the real deal, but it is a large piece of paper. Them not winning on prime time was certainly going to ignite some Cowboys conversation and chatter. But I think it was more so the Niners. This is the Niners get-back game last night against the Cowboys. Cowboys almost came back and caught them.
Yeah.
That was a wild show of fight.
yeah.
Fight, I think. There was some buy-in. Obviously, they drew some plays that got CD wide open, some confusion on the Niners' defensive side. I think they thought that game was over. It certainly was not over. But I think that showed a lot about the Cowboys' culture, personally, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I think more so about the Niners for sure, but Dak he throws so many boneheaded interceptions. He does, like that stat came out about when they were down by 2+ scores. You know, his passer rating's like perfect, and I don't know, he's like 13 of 15 for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, and when it's a close game, it's like he's awful. He threw 2 picks, and it just, I don't know, it's been like that week after week. Like they start getting going, they get down in the red zone, boom, Dak throws a terrible interception, and they kind of just can't get out of their own way.
You think Big Mike wants out of there? He's okay if this last year is his last year? What do you think, AJ?
There's no way. No, I think if you're a head coach, you want to stay the head coach. I'm sure you're sick of some of the things and very frustrated, but I don't think you'd want to be out of there.
The tours are not a distraction. And with all this talk about them, we're going to actually add more tours.
Up the price, too.
This has been great for
good pub.
We made $10 million last year off those facility tours. This year, 15. You get a 50% jump on anything, brother. It's good business.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott better understand we got a shower tour now. So you're either showering with shorts on or your dong's getting seen. That's fucking Dallas Cowboys difference, baby. That's what it is.
That is Jerry Jones football.
Well,
it's true.
I do heard, yeah.
What happened?
Well, he's talking about penis size one time.
Oh,
yeah. 8.5.
One time.
9.
Slap band.
I've heard a lot about Jamie Foxx also. Has he got a new special coming out? I think he does.
Not sure, but
you doing stand-up again?
special?
I think so.
Oh, he's had some bangers in the past, so I'll definitely watch it.
I think there's some real things being covered potentially from what my algorithm's saying. Now we should look into it a little bit more.
I thought they replaced him.
Sorry, what?
The health scare?
With who?
That was weird. Obviously, everybody.
Oh, yeah, they did. You're right.
But,
So I think he's talking about
That's
that.
part of
Allegedly, from the
go.
things that I've seen in the algo.
Okay.
And we would like to let Jamie Foxx know, fan everything you do.
Absolutely.
You're a talent. You're a fucking talent, bro.
Super talent.
Real deal. And everybody likes him.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You know? Everybody, what's that? What was that all about?
Oh.
I'm going to tap out of this one.
You tired?
No, I'm not. I'm not tired, but I can think of a few people off
What's
the top
wrong?
of my head that everybody liked.
Okay, let's get to the next one. Not everybody. And Jim Fox
Not
is a
everybody.
different animal.
Yeah,
This is Reg at the real Reg. Hashtag I don't want to overreact,
But-
the cardiac cat Bengals are going to kill me. ZT's decisions are giving me a brain tumor. The lack of talent and execution on defense feels like I'm ripping my nails off. Ooh, that would hurt. And the offense inconsistency is forcing me to voluntarily bite a curb. Jesus. Reg.
That's tough there.
This is a very Ohio overreaction. Yeah. Happy Monday, says AJ. Is this all Bengals fans?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it might be. It might be the majority of the Bengals fans, I feel like. There's so much hope. Here we go, Super Bowl. Oh, Joe, we're good for 20 years, and now we have this. So, yeah, people are pretty frustrated.
Now the window's closed already.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Throw another party.
Who?
The Bengals.
Talking about a watch-along?
Yeah, maybe they get a win.
Oh, the Bengals, when they came through?
Yeah, that was awesome.
At least they built an indoor facility. I'm appreciative of that. They got some more stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
Don't have to walk across the
$1 billion
street anymore.
Yep.
Soon.
Going into the season, though, the T. Higgins, Jamar Chase stuff was the thing. Now Jamar's catching touchdowns, still playing, and they're still losing. Oh, I don't think anybody expected the defense to be the way it is.
Yeah, it's bad.
Not that. Nobody expected them to be that bad. Terrible.
Hey, it's okay, Cincy. You guys had a good run, though.
Yeah.
And that jungle's a good atmosphere.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, they had a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year.
They had a good year.
Couple of years.
It's just that one.
Couple of years of prime time
A
games.
good year. And they
Joey B will be back.
That's why I said it about the Lions.
Joey's rolling right. He's fucking directing traffic, spinning it all over the place.
He's trying hard.
They like Joey B still, right, in Ohio?
Yeah, I think people definitely still like Joey.
You have to.
Out on Zach Taylor already?
ZT's decision
I
maker?
don't know. Yeah, people are definitely torn on him, I think, for sure.
That was a lot of overreactions?
I don't know if it's already. I feel like they've been out on him for a while now.
They have been. As long as we've been doing overreact, this is what it is every time the Bengals lose. It's like Zach Taylor's a fucking idiot. There's 10 decisions. A lot of people saying, hey, can you imagine this Bengals offense with Ben Johnson?
Oh.
A lot of people saying that.
All right, let's go to another overreaction. Good luck in there, Cincinnati. This is the last one. This is Jeff, red in the head, 40. Interesting. Red in the head.
He's ginger.
Oh, but that's on the head. But this is in the head.
Hairs are.
Maybe he's a ginger in spirit. But outside.
There's no soul.
He identifies as one, yeah.
Okay. Maybe he does because he's red in the head. But red also signifies like anger, right?
Yeah, it could run hot.
Oh, he's just an angry lad.
Yeah, I'm red in the head. He probably gets out into mosh pits and stuff.
Yep, does that.
Jeff with 2 F's and a G-O at the beginning, you know he's after it. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Bears coaching staff needs to be sent to the front lines of Ukraine. Not only was a player taunting fans during the last play, they thought handing the ball to the backup center on the goal line was a good idea. Fuck Flus and his dumbass beard. I disagree, Jeff. He's got a good beard.
He needs to shave that beard.
He does.
It's the only thing he's got.
And if that backup center scores a touchdown there, we're all dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all doing the boom.
Yeah.
Probably all doing the boom. But instead, it's a fumble on the goal line in a game that you lose in a last second Hail Mary.
Yeah.
That's tough stuff. A lot of Chicago Bears fans mad, huh, at the whole operation over there?
Yeah, Flus especially. A lot of people saying, I didn't put it in there because it's a little much, but someone basically saying, like, this whole coaching staff needs to be shot, hanged, then shot again. That kind of stuff.
That was too much, but you wanted to reiterate the fact.
Yeah, well, I won't
homicide.
put it out there, who said it. I didn't want to get that guy in trouble, but a lot of people are saying that. And then again, a lot of people taking shots at Flus's beard and haircut, saying that a year ago, we thought, hey, this is a new guy. This guy looks awesome now. But I'll just advise, remember what Neil Brown did. He had that sweet goatee.
Foxy just told me that there is a West Virginia overreaction.
There might be.
This is supposed to be NFL stuff. Hashtag I don't overreact, but these are going up in Morgantown. All right, take it down.
I thought they won.
Take it down.
That don't matter.
Nico Mozzarella spinning it all over the place. He's a great quarterback. We said that after the spring game. It's like, hey, the Nico kid's big, strapping, lefty, can spin it. Garrett Green running wild. Obviously, he has an injury. Nico goes in, they get a big win. Yeah, the West Virginia people have had it. Billboard in your own town's tough. That's tough stuff.
Nico's going to fuck around and win so many games that they're going to keep Neil Brown for 5 years.
Well, that is what some people are saying in the West Virginia universe. They're saying, great. Nico Mozzarella is about to go on a run.
Even worse.
You know where in West exactly that billboard is? Is it somewhere? Is it somewhere he has to drive by and have to see it?
Definitely.
He has to see it?
If it's in Morgantown, he sees it. Yeah. And I think there's multiple ones. That's tough. That's really because that'd be tough stuff. He got family,
your friends, everybody sees it, and they're all like, yeah.
I mean, he's made like $17 million or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say.
It's a good gig.
You know the gig.
It's a terrible gig. Neil Brown, great. He's been great. Very nice to me. Nice to us. But boy, they've stunk.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
He's cool, probably.
The football program trying to win games.
Before we get out of here, especially on this Pittsburgh Steelers New York Giant evening, we'd be remiss if we didn't say happy birthday to Bruce. Happy birthday to Bruce. Happy birthday, dear Bruce. Happy birthday to you. Good work, man. That was really good, man. Happy birthday, Bruce.
Dumbest kid in the West.
Hey, we love you, Bruce. He had top 5 Halloween costume this weekend.
Good one.
And a good reenactment for his Halloween costume. We would recommend everybody to go to his Instagram and watch him be B-Boy Ray Gun, the breakdancer from Australia, alongside his lady Vic in their basement with a camera. He looked like an asshole, but it was the most beautiful asshole thing I've ever seen.
Great times. Great times. It is, it's tough to replicate that sort of artistry.
You watch film, though, clearly. He was doing the...
Oh, yeah. That's her best move, tame the cobra. It's actually... Whoa, gotcha. I like that one.
Happy birthday, Bruce. How old?
29. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
We love you, Bruce. We're lucky to have you, Bruce. Anything to say to the team here before we get out of here, Bruce?
You want me to break it down?
I mean, you certainly can. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Big one tonight. Let's enjoy it all. Go ahead, Bruce.
Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Goodbye.